Yo, YouTube. Here we are. We made it. I heard you missed us. We're back.
I brought my pencil.
I don't feel tardy.
I don't feel tardy. I don't feel late or tardy.
Or gay.
I didn't say that. You said that. Can we hear something from your board over there, Producer Chris?
How about the ever popular...
You stupid fucking blabbermouth cunt!
Yep, that'll get us demonetized immediately. This fucking guy. World's worst producer. I would need a producer out there. Anyone looking for a producer? Tom Myers.
Can't scream the C word on
Do you need
YouTube?
a producer? Trying to get picked up by a real-time radio show.
I got so much going on.
I got so much going on.
Programming note, we're starting the show at 5 a.m. now.
Yes.
Tune in
Oh my gosh.
so I can prove that
I'm just
I
going
can
to
do
roll
the
out of bed.
morning drive professional show.
I got some funny Opie shit today because he's at the house in the Hamptons. And I think that's a smaller setup than his place in Manhattan.
Yeah.
So he has to whisper.
I watched.
Did you see that?
I dabbled in it myself.
Oh, boy.
I'm like,
Pathetic
maybe I'll get my
loser.
news through the show today.
People aren't recognizing you, Andy, without the sunglasses on.
Yeah, I forgot him. So
Oh, shit. Oh, no.
my whole
What a
look is
disaster.
shot.
Oh, this is already a total disaster.
Can't you take a dry erase marker to your real glasses?
Just use your ears. Recognize the annoying voice.
Wait a minute. This is Joe. Thought you could pull a fast one, eh, Joe?
Our boy Raper Butt
Yay.
is in with $2. Get Brother Weeze on to trash Opie. I'm sure he'd love to do that. We should get Weeze on the show one
That
of
would
these
be
days.
Amazing.
Would it?
Lead
He
bad.
wanted me to come on his show years ago when I started making fun of Opie. He reached out to Vinny and said, "Hey, you know this guy?" And he's like, "Yeah, it's my buddy Carl before the creep off and stuff." And I was like, "Yeah, I'll go on Weeze's show. That'd be cool."
So he could dress you down publicly.
So what happened?
Weeze backed out.
Oh.
He didn't want to do it.
Too niche.
Goat Malp says, Rainn Wilson is the opposite of John. He's famous for one thing and can't stand it. He can also suck it because he seems completely ungrateful. I didn't know a lot about Rainn Wilson before today, I'll be honest. It's he's out there, man.
Seems like he has a lot of time on his hands.
Oh my gosh.
He seems like, again, bringing it back to South Park, but when they're smelling their farts out of the wine glass, the smug episode.
Oh.
Yep. We're just a little bit more progressive and ahead of the times.
Yeah, I think you remember.
Cool. Well, everything seems to be working. I bet I could play a drop and people would hear it.
That's the gayest thing I've ever heard in my entire life.
Right? Right?
Just because I don't care doesn't mean I don't understand.
It's a good combo.
I was trying to find a
Oh, yeah.
Homer
Start
drop.
mixing them together.
I was trying to find a Homer drop today and Get Yarn was down,
Oh,
which is always annoying. But
what'd you need? What you need, man?
It was, I think it was, I told you, I find them boring.
That's a good one.
I forget what he's even talking about. A recital or something? Lisa's recital.
Ask Lucy. She's a human encyclopedia.
Lucy's not here. Producer Chris is.
Yeah, and she uses Get Yarn. Just that's how it works.
I don't know. I was
Oh,
looking
no.
for a drop, and I
Also,
asked
Frankie
everybody, and she came up with it immediately.
she does.
Frinkiac
know
will
that.
tell you the episode number and all that shit and where it is in the scene and what the lines were before and after. It's amazing.
What's it called?
Frinkiac.
Ah, that
And
makes
there's one
sense.
for Futurama and Rick and Morty.
Oh, there's one from Rick and Morty too, huh?
Yeah.
That could come in handy.
What is that called?
Riley and Friends $2 says, as an internet guy, Opie is just Proto-Maddox. Prototype?
Yeah.
I get words.
Is that Riley Reid and Friends?
No, it's not.
Not enough eggplant emojis.
Fair question.
I don't think Riley is a huge WATP supporter, but I could be wrong. We find out that their Some of them are hiding in the shadows. Some of these WATP listeners
As they
and
should.
viewers. They don't want to be
Shame.
They don't want to be discovered. Obviously. Everyone's excited that Adam's not here. That's great. Glad to see that.
Do they know Andy's here?
They see him.
Disappointed about other things.
They all see him. All right, cool. Well, I guess we can get this thing started. Right?
Yeah.
Cool. And I'm going to do that then. Show starts now.
You see, this is a we just do it kind of show.
Let's get deep with our favorite thinkers, friends, and entertainers about life, meaning, and idiocy. Welcome to the
Episode
605.
Are you a boner guy?
Oh, I was a boner guy.
You know what? I miss penis.
What are you talking about?
I'm the one who should apologize.
Is it going to be absolutely riveting? Is it going to change your life by any stretch? Probably not, but it's going to be at least entertaining, okay?
LGBTQ plus.
By the way, for those people that are in the back, remember to shut the fuck up.
Shut the fuck up, asswipe, and suck my cock.
I've been dying to say that.
Cuz-a-roo. Slap-a-rooney.
It's showtime.
WATP.
WATP.
Hello, Rubber Dicks and Cuzzaroos. Welcome to another episode of Who Are These Podcasts, the only show that is shocked that there's very little new information in the JFK files. I'm your host, Carl. With me today, a guy who uses a sock account to trash Adam Bush on our subreddit from the All Apologies podcast. It's Trucker Andy.
Let's talk shit.
Also, producer Chris is with us as well.
Hello.
Please go to whoarethese.com. That's where you get our email address, voicemail number, link to the subreddit, link to our Discord server, link to our merchandise, link to our YouTube channel, and that link to Patreon and Supercast featuring 2 exclusive bonus episodes every single month. You get to watch the show live when we record them on Saturdays or anytime thereafter. You get all the links for all the shows and the bonus shows. And I thought we were going to have a bonus show this week, but I was scheduling myself wrong because I was on Drew's show yesterday.
Oh, right.
And so that was fun. I went on Drew's show, and what did we talk about on there? Billy Corgan's podcast.
Woke Dad.
We did talk some Woke Dad. We talked some
Kinda have
Stuttering John, but we did Billy Corgan, The Magnificent Others with Gene Simmons was the guest on the show. So I did that. But this week coming up, I'll be recording a bonus show with Blind Mike, another Blind Mike crossover event. Julia Fox's book, and also probably some Dar Man or something like that. I think we're going to watch some fun videos while we're doing that. So go to patreon.com/whoarethesepodcasts and sign up for that, because that's where you get the bonus episodes that we do twice a month. And while you got your wallet out, hackamania.com, May 9th through 11th, we'll be in Las Vegas with a bunch of other shows doing live podcasts. You know you got FOMO. You know you don't want to miss this. Don't miss it. Come out and see us in Vegas. Hackamania.com, promo code WATP for 10% off. And before that even happens, wow, this is creeping up on us. Dabble House. Dabblecon.live is where you want to go. We also have a film festival. Dabblefilmfest@gmail.com to submit your movies. We're going to have a whole film festival episode for people who want to show off their creative side. We have a lot of creative dabblers in this universe. And so the theme is Stuttering John's Return to the Dabbleverse, or anything you want it to be, but create a video under 4 minutes and submit that. The winner gets $500. But more importantly, we have season 2 of the Kate Meany tapes that will be playing on WATP Friday night, the 11th of April, and then even more on the Uncle Rico show Saturday night, the 12th of April. And you get all of that by going to dabblecon.live. There's also a producer level you can get. You can become an executive producer. And I want to point out, if you want to promote something, you can do that as an executive producer. So we'll be live streaming all weekend on our YouTube channels and stuff. And if you want to help us produce the event, the weekend, then we appreciate that. And we'll give you some love back I know Mint Salad signed up as an executive producer.
Oh,
I
nice.
appreciate that. So we'll be.
I got 2, and I got bad news. You're fired.
Oh shit! I didn't know you could do that with that level of membership. Also, we encourage our listeners, give us 5 stars on Apple Podcasts or wherever you review podcasts. Shit all over us in the comments section, but give us 5 stars. It helps the algorithm. Of course, you can support the show today and participate in it using supertip.gg/WATP. We got all the AI voices there. I had Tukey showing off as Dr. Steve. We were the first with Dr. Steve. Motherfucker. Tukey's stealing my Dr. Steve AI voice. But we also have Jerry Banfield, Joe Matarese, Lisa Boswell, Rob Saul, Adam Bush, Anthony Cumia, Dick Masterson, Erock, who's going to be on the show later today, is in there. So we appreciate that. If you guys can check out supertip.gg/WATP, support the show. Today, we'll be talking about a show called Cockfight, trying to start a beef with us. We got Opie going hard at Erik Nagel, and I asked Erik to come on and respond to that. Stuttering John's disaster of a final show. We'll be going through that. Stuttering John trying to get Anthony fired from WABC already. We'll talk about that. We have another round of 2 minutes with Tom Myers. I also was checking out Tom's show from this morning, his stream that he's doing to get his watch hours up so he can get monetized. But first, we're going to talk about Rainn Wilson, who hosts a podcast about some serious mumbo jumbo. This is a suggestion from Timothy McD, and this is a show called Soul Boom with Rainn Wilson. Rainn Wilson, you know him, you love him. Comedic actor, The Office. Who doesn't have a warm spot in their heart for Rainn Wilson? You go, oh, he's got a podcast? This is going to be great. He'll be laughing with the other folks from The Office, talking about old episodes, reminiscing. What's he going to be doing? Well, the intro kind of sums up what this show is all about.
Actually, hey there, it's me, Rainn Wilson, and I want to dig into the human experience. I want to have conversations about a spiritual revolution. Let's get deep with our favorite thinkers, friends, and entertainers about life, meaning, and idiocy. Welcome to the Soul Boom podcast.
They couldn't be more generic. So I tried a little experiment. I went to ChatGPT and I said, write a description for a podcast hosted by Rainn Wilson. And it came back with, hosted by Rainn Wilson, Beyond the Spotlight takes you on a captivating journey into the minds of the world's most influential stars. Each week, Rainn sits down with fellow celebrities to explore life's deepest questions, uncovering their personal philosophies, struggles, and moments of enlightenment. From the pressures of fame to the quest for inner peace, no topic is off limits as guests share their unique perspectives on what truly matters. Tune in for intimate conversations that blend wisdom, humor, and raw honesty as these icons open up about the meaning of life, purpose, and everything in between. Whether you're a fan of the guests or just curious about life's bigger picture, Beyond the Spotlight offers a refreshing and thought-provoking look at what makes us all human. And I went, holy shit, ChatGPT's come a long way.
Sincerely, ChatGPT.
That's I've read so many podcast descriptions that are almost word for word. And the fact that they even put in nothing is off limits.
Yeah.
Right.
I was like, obviously this is pulling from all those other podcast descriptions because it's so fucking generic. Andy,
But
what
do
did you
they have
pick up
a
on?
unicorn in their opening so that you know that this show is to be taken very seriously?
Is that what that means?
It means the opposite.
Oh, yeah, that's what I was
I'm
thinking.
trying to say.
That's what I was thinking, too. Now, I teased on the last episode that Rainn Wilson had the great Trisha Paytus
Yeah,
on his show. And, Andy, you checked out the episode with Trisha,
that's right.
our favorite life like Miss Piggy.
I feel like I feel like that's why this got recommended to us initially,
Yes.
mainly because Trisha is trying to change her image, I think. She is trying to get away from all the craziness and be more forthcoming with her mental illness challenge. And God help me, her mental wellness journey. I hate it when people say journey. They say it all over this fucking.
The word
it's all over
journey
this show.
showed up in this ChatGPT thing, too. Everyone using this fucking word.
God.
Just get there already.
Yeah.
Are we there yet?
So she took the mental illness challenge?
Yeah.
What do you have to do?
You pour water on your head.
Oh, she's going to give you the cliff notes, Chris, about how to win
I'm in.
the mental illness challenge. And up front, Rainn is introducing her onto the show, and I don't think he fully understands the conversation that he's about to have. He is going to put her, I guess, what she's best known for, politely, as you try and explain what Trisha Paytus is all about.
Okay.
Clip 1.
Talk a little bit more specifically about kind of a blow-by-blow going through this mental health journey and documenting it in such a fascinating, in-your-face way.
Yeah, thank you for that. It is, it is a blessing at this point because I think I found like my stability in life. So I feel like now at least I could show the happy ending. I think it could have ended like badly.
Right.
In which case,
It'd be a very different story. Yeah.
Which I also romanticize. Like, so I always thought like, oh, I'll die before I'm 30. Like, I romanticized it like Anna Nicole, like those kind of people were the people I related to. Whereas like, you know what, if I end early, like at least I'll be like legendary or something. Like that was the thoughts in my head. Of course, now I have children and I want to live to be like 100.
No one thinks Anna Nicole Smith is legendary. It's a joke.
Yeah. Arguably a better ending to this story, though.
Yes.
But
what an idiot she is. She's like, I always thought, wouldn't it be great to go out like Anna Nicole Smith? No. It's a drug addict that everyone made fun of and got fat.
Yeah. Yeah.
She used to be hot, by the way.
Arguably.
Trish.
Arguably. Yeah. You never started out hot, Trisha. Let's be clear. But he's just like, you've uniquely documented this journey. No, she's just putting her craziness on Front Street because she has no other talents.
Correct.
But at least Trisha has the wherewithal to admit that any success that she's had was not intentional.
Narcissism and the money of just like, I'm just going to document this. This is how I am. I'm a mess. Like, at least I can make money this way because I could never hold like a standard job. I tried and I just like couldn't. Before I made money on YouTube, I did stripping, I did escorting, I did all that stuff, and it was just my only option.
Can you just like cook fries?
Yeah.
I couldn't hold down a job. All the jobs I tried were like hot chicks do. Like, yeah. No wonder you were bad at stripping and escorting.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
So then when I saw on YouTube I could make money doing the same thing and just showing myself like completely like just plastered or disassociating or whatever. Like, and I thought, so I did it unintentionally. It wasn't my intention to be like, look at like this, because I didn't know I had mental illness. I really didn't.
We did.
Yeah, I know. You're the last one to know. It's too bad.
I don't have real, marketable skills like taking BBC on OnlyFans, but she's going to start talking about her problems manifesting in clip 3.
What were the symptoms of your mental illness? How did it manifest?
Your life is better than mine. I don't wanna die, 'cause I'm scared of death. But I hate my life. I hate my life so much. I got money and it still sucks. I can't stop eating, it's a problem. My boyfriend was gay, now I ain't got one. I got lipo, but I'm still fat. It didn't work. Dragons don't exist, so there's that.
What's going on? What just happened?
That was, I just cut it off there because
Did I just enter in a music video for Trisha Paytus, Andy? What's going on?
Well, he asked her how her problems manifest, so I gave you a perfect example.
Just eating potato chips in the tub.
Yeah.
That's probably how she got to this point in life.
You've never been.
Never eaten potato chips in the tub. But.
Getting lipo so you could just get fat all over again. Yeah, that could be a problem.
Well,
but
I checked out a different episode.
Okay.
And I checked out these two characters, Rhett and Link from Good Mythical Morning. We covered them back in the 200s on this show. Ear Biscuits. These are like these two trad dads. They're cornballs that do a bunch of shows. And I didn't realize how boring they are. Imagine going on someone else's show, another celebrity, and being this boring.
I think that I've heard you talk about that more than I've considered it, but
yeah, I have a very close relationship with judgment. Growing up in an environment of an all-seeing God who was frequently demanding, confession, and I grew very accustomed to that. And then I think over the past decade of moving out of some of those beliefs cognitively, it's still very it's all baked in here in terms of feeling almost like feeling more comfortable in an environment of judgment. So I'll assume judgment, like from my wife. I care very deeply about what she thinks of me, her opinion of me.
She loves you.
She loves me.
All right, here's a quick quiz. Anyone know what he just said? Is anyone following this at all? So that is Link.
Well, these are our personalities, so we better get cool haircuts because
Dude,
something's got to pick up the slack.
Every white guy on this show has the worst hair I've ever seen. It's so ridiculous. Like, no one gives a fuck. This guy looks like he was in a wind tunnel 3 seconds before they went on.
Yeah, it looks like Mac from Philly doing a bit.
Right.
It's like Baby Billy.
But imagine going on a show and just having no energy and I don't even really want to be here, but I'll tell you about my journey. What
And Rainn just going, yeah, right.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so
you,
bad.
He's like,
Well, Rainn is worse than the other two guys in this.
He's enabling them.
He's done zero prep. So apparently these guys were like Christian missionaries. They were evangelical Christians, and they've changed their ways. This is a big part of their story and their journey.
Story.
Yep.
I would say that both of you consider yourselves Christians at this point? No?
No.
You're not Christians?
Christ on the right said no.
No. Wow. I missed the boat there.
I mean, this is something you would learn from reading their Wikipedia page. And Rainn Wilson recently was like, all right, so you guys are Christians. Let's talk about some religion. Like, nope. Oh, shit.
You're right.
So Rainn was not prepared for this interview at all, and it turns into him trying to convert them back to Christianity for some reason, which is really weird. I don't think he was ready for this at all, but they did have some great banter. This is where the jokes started coming in. These are Bible jokes. We don't play those a lot on this show, but these are pretty good.
That segment.
I wonder why.
Passe.
They were like, we'll say it like once a year on our podcast, and when we broke the seal on it, it was over the course
Don't use
of
the
like
word seal. That's in the book of Revelations.
when we broke the 7th seal on it.
The 4 horsemen of the producers of our podcast rode into the room and said, are you sure you want to share that? On the fiery sword of the microphone that you're speaking into.
Good stuff. So you saw that Rainn Wilson was not prepared to talk to these guys. He didn't know what their deal was. But what's funny is that this guy Rhett is super prepared to talk to him.
And so, I'm interested because I read your book, and so
Oh gosh, thanks so much.
And so I
didn't read yours.
The guest comes in having done the homework. I read your book. I'm ready to talk to you about this shit. He's like, oh, cool. I watched a video you were in once. I didn't know we were going to be doing that. So Rainn wrote a book called Soul Boom, Why We Need a Spiritual Revolution. And I guess that's the basis of this show that he's doing. It's all about spiritual revolution. Did you learn anything from this show?
Well, I had the notes written on my hand, but I started sweating.
So no key takeaways. Well, hopefully Trisha Paytus was more interesting than these two idiots that I was checking.
Well, I'm sorry. My takeaway is you summed it up in the intro. It's mumbo jumbo.
It's mumbo jumbo. Yeah. I was trying to write like a quick 1-line thing for this. That's the only word I could think of.
Yeah.
I scrubbed around in an episode that dropped a day ago and couldn't find anything to sink my teeth into. Like, I had no idea what they were talking about.
It's so boring. And this video that I'm playing for you, this one with these guys from Ear Biscuits, 125,000 views. So it's not like no one's watching this shit. People are watching this for some reason. They're getting duped.
There's nothing to be learned here, except for maybe what Trisha Paytas' actual problems are clipped for.
Well, at first it was just, I attribute a lot of it to like abusing like prescription pills. So I thought, well, maybe it's like when I'm using this, it's just I'm a little unhinged. But then when I wasn't, it was 2019. I don't know. I just like something happened where I got 5150'd. I had just gone through a breakup, and
What's 5150? For
like,
those who don't know.
Oh, it's like a involuntary hold. So like in California,
Danger to self or others.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah. Okay.
I know.
So, yeah.
Some of our viewers may not.
Okay. Right.
All right, I appreciate the Van Halen in there.
Thought you might.
Yep.
But yeah, she's a danger to everyone around her.
I
is
got
her main
I
problem.
got women and children first in the state of New York. Yeah, she's definitely a problem, and she celebrates that. And now she's famous and has lots of money, so it's a really good story for all the young people to know about who all want to be like Trisha Paytus. Oh, I don't have any talent, and I'm a problem.
Yeah,
can I be a multimillionaire? Why not?
Apparently,
here, eat some chicken McNuggets in your car, film it.
One of the most annoying things about people in therapy that they think that because they've gone to therapy that they're therapists.
Correct.
And they try and talk
Let's
about...
explore that, Andy.
Yeah.
Let's explore that. I mean, how do you feel when you say that about therapy and thinking you're a therapist?
I feel like I don't know what I'm talking about because I've never been to therapy.
Oh, okay.
And just because Trisha has been to multiple therapy sessions per week, that doesn't make her an expert, even though she's going to try and sound like she is, but fail miserably.
I have borderline personality disorder, which is more of like a personality disorder.
You don't say.
That's funny.
Say more.
Did you dumb it down a shade?
Yeah. And in clip 6, this is where Rainn starts to realize that he's talking to an imbecile and a lunatic.
Mm-hmm.
And watch his expression on his face at the end of this clip.
So when I went to the group therapy classes, they really taught you the skills on, for me, it's breathing, which now, and later on I had another rock bottom in 2021, but for me, it's like kind of like my meditation now. But in DBT, they call it wise mind, which is like, you know, just really like counting the spaces in between breaths, which is basically for me like meditation.
So show us wise mind right now. Can you demonstrate?
So it would be like, yeah, if I was getting overwhelmed, right, and I want to like snap on someone, like, and this just works for me, not for everybody, but it really was like taking the breaths, right? You just go, you like count, and then you see the spaces in between, and you just count. You either see the spaces or you count the breaths. So it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then like an exhale. So it's like, and then just like watching the spaces pass. As I've gotten into like meditation, sometimes I see like clouds passing or my problems passing, or just kind of like taking a moment, which I don't think I ever did. I was very quick to react, which is why all my videos online are me just like really angry and aggressively reacting to anyone who said anything about me.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's retarded.
It's more like wise breathing, I guess. Wise lungs. Not so much a wise mind as somebody that can barely count to 5.
She's basically counting sheep.
Yes.
Daydreaming.
The therapist is like, you're better off unconscious. Just
right, yeah.
Take these pills and never wake up.
All right, let me get back to this guy, Link, who I'm declaring is the most boring guest to ever be on a podcast. Everything that comes out of his mouth is tedious.
And, you know, I think the judgment thing is a big piece of it for me that I'm unpacking in therapy still for a couple of years. I'm a very systemized thinker, and I do like to know a way.
Boring.
I'd love to see what this therapist does, like draws eyeballs on his eyelids or something. I don't know, this is great. It's really interesting. Holy shit. This guy is a bore. He's the worst. So I noticed right out of the gate, all of these guys, their hair is atrocious. Rainn looks like he hasn't tried to style his hair in a decade. He's not even worried about it. And then he brings it up for some reason.
You have enough hairspray? I'm teasing. You guys have great hair. Like seeing you in person is like, God damn it. Mine is just like, it's pathetic.
Yeah, it's all Erock.
Everyone has great hair compared to Rainn.
Yeah, what is he doing? I don't even. This is like the Opie look that he's got going. I don't care. I don't need to do my hair for you. You're on a show. You're hosting a show. Put some product in there or something. Grab a comb. I don't know.
Have some respect
Producer,
for yourself.
Producer Chris, I mean, you're the one who should be giving advice here, not me.
Have good hair.
There it is. See? It's that easy. He's not even the host. He's just a producer, and he knows that. So they're talking about people's various understandings of God and what God does. And Rainn points out that he grew up thinking that there was this thing called a sky daddy who's watching all of us and looking for sins and things. And he tries to think of examples of sins that Sky Daddy would be watching us for. And he has a very limited collection.
Because it's in the groundwater that, and I call them in the book,
sky daddy, this kind of idea of a judgmental sky daddy god kind of looking down at us like, oh, he masturbated, he looked at porn, or, you know, he did this, let's smite him.
His only examples are jerking off. And so he's like, what could people be doing that God be watching? I don't know. Diddling themselves, slapping their balls around.
Cumsies.
Making cumsies, making whites. It's like, oh, that's weird. I would have come up with one other example, but all right.
Yeah, I know. You
Fair
seem
enough.
to have a one-track mind, Rainn.
Let's get back over to Trisha Paytus.
In clip 7, she's going to describe her low point of when she realized she couldn't keep her lifestyle.
Her center of gravity. Is that what her low point is?
Right.
What was your lowest point, and what sought you to kind of seek perhaps a spiritual path out of what you were experiencing?
I've had a couple low points. 2007, 2019, I had 2 overdoses that landed me in the hospital. But it actually was 2021 when I had like an actual psychotic break where I was like, ooh, like nothing's working. Because 2021, I've done the therapy, I've done the DBT. I thought I had everything under control. But, you know, there was just like one event online, like sort of like a cancellation. And I've been through so many, but there was one specific cancellation that like,
What
honestly,
happened?
it's like traumatic. I've never talked about it. Like it's online. I think if people know, they know, but it's actually, and a lot of it was.
Can you talk about it here?
Yeah.
When they canceled the Baconator.
It is. I don't know if the internet's a safe space. Like
McRib is gone.
Because you know what? Because it is still so fresh, right? Like it's a few years ago. A lot of it was brought on by me. I would say like 90% of it was definitely brought on by me because I couldn't handle the triggers that I was able to. There was just a situation I was in that triggered me a lot. And I'm putting it all on me and like not on anyone else. Like it triggered me so much. And I thought I was like strong enough to like handle these triggers, but it didn't work. So
I played that so that we could play this next one because this is where we go back to when she was doing Frenemies with our buddy Ethan Klein.
Right.
And this is the very last episode. I trimmed it way down because it's maybe about a 5-minute conversation. But she's going to start flipping out about money. And it really turned into a big problem between those two because their significant others are brother and sister. So
Right.
Trisha's husband, Moses,
Yes.
is Ethan's wife, Gila's
Yeah.
brother. So I can't imagine what Thanksgiving dinner is like, but especially
Annoying?
if they if they show up dressed
One-sided?
like this. Yeah. No leftovers.
Well, it's good because Ethan's doing so much blow, he doesn't eat any food. So she gets it all.
You're going to notice that this is pre-blow, pre-Ozempic Ethan.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
It's like a lazy podcast. Like we're gonna play games on the like you know.
A lazy podcast. You don't do anything for it. You just show up. We do all the work.
Oh my god, yeah, right.
How am I wrong? I feel like you're so angry about this.
I'm literally not, but it's
Yes,
so
you
funny.
are.
I'm not. I'm angry when you say
Don't-
something.
You need to admit when you're angry.
Ethan, I promise you, this is really is gaslighting. I go to a lot of therapy right now, and this really is. When I say I'm not angry, I'm not. I'm like just trying to tell you that you're like, oh, we do everything for the show, and I'm like saying it's not always good. But that was the first time we ever spent money on production costs.
It's not about that, dude. It's literally about we are producing the show and I'm taking a cut. I feel like that's beyond reasonable.
All the
beyond
highlights.
reasonable.
But I'm not upset, and that's
Okay,
what
all
gaslighting
right.
is, because you're saying I'm gaslighting you by
gaslighting
saying,
you. You're not upset. You're perfectly,
Oh,
you're in
wow.
a perfect condition right now.
okay, wow. Holy cow, that's crazy.
Even the hand agrees, see?
I mean, I don't know how you. I just don't see what you just did. That's really.
What did I
crazy.
do?
Holy shit.
We have to end it now. Like really,
What did I do?
we got to stop for real. Really, we need
Okay.
to stop.
Trisha, let me just say,
The
I'm
fact,
sorry.
Ethan, that you just did that. You're right. You're
I don't know
right.
what I
Nothing's
just
wrong
said.
with you. But I go. You don't know how much therapy I go to a week. I go to 4
But
Zoom
Trisha,
sessions a
you
week.
can't-
No,
I understand,
Ethan,
but
Ethan,
okay,
what you
all right.
just said was, "You're right, Trisha. Everything's fine." That's insane. Like the fact that you did that to me is like
It's
insane.
not insane. We're friends.
was
We're
so
having a
nice.
friendly conversation.
Thank you guys for watching, and I don't want it to be a thing where you're just sitting here eating pizza and you become
okay.
a meme.
So then I'll say, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Obviously, I don't want to get in an argument
I
over
really
like
need
your
to
most.
leave.
Okay, all right, we're done. Thank you guys.
Thank you.
That's how Frenemies ended?
Yeah. That turned into a long, drawn out series of them doxing each other and throwing each other under the bus and blowing up.
She goes to therapy 4 times a week.
I know.
That's my truth.
You
Go to
can't
therapy.
Can't
Go.
be sarcastic in her general direction if you go to therapy and you realize what gaslighting means. Okay.
So it all came down to the fact that Ethan's like, yeah, we're doing all the work behind the scenes. You just show up here and you get half the money. It doesn't make any fucking sense.
Yeah.
She got very upset about that, it seems like.
Yeah.
She thinks she puts a lot of work into the show, I guess.
Her solution was to hire a whole different crew and split everything 50-50. It was the worst fucking idea. She's not she's not smart or talented.
Yeah, but thank God that show went away. There's so many shows like The Fighter and The Kid and these things. You're like, they're still doing this?
Yeah.
What is going on right now?
Oh, no, it's the best thing that ever happened
Yeah,
to
just
her.
let her die.
Yeah, she got her.
But that was her low point in 2021.
According to this Rainn Wilson
worse than
appearance.
ODing and all the other shit that she went through. Okay. It's good to know.
You want to keep going?
Yeah, let's keep going.
Okay, because in clip 9, Rainn is going to call her on her shit about having performative meltdowns online.
Yes.
It's like people that are actually having a psychotic break don't set up their phone and record it. And,
I like it already.
And monetize it.
Oh, they don't? Greg Hughes, do you have something to say about this?
Was like screaming, sobbing, like I couldn't control myself, like I couldn't breathe, just like shouting at people to like leave me alone.
And let me just pause you
Yeah.
right there. What is it about you? And I'm just really trying to understand
Yeah.
this. Like
fat. Oh,
I'm so activated. I'm so angry. I'm so triggered. I'm so overwhelmed. I'm about to just lose my shit. I'm gonna have a psychotic break.
Yeah.
But I gotta log in and hit live stream and put it in the tripod and press it and make sure my light's on. And now I'm gonna have the psychotic break.
Well, the lights weren't on.
What's the deal with that though? What is that impulse?
Way to miss
And
the
again,
point.
is it because you're getting that reward from doing it? The more that you have kind
Right.
of nervous breakdowns online, then you get, the
Yeah.
money truck backs up.
This guy gets it.
Don't gaslight me, Rainn.
Sounds about right. Yep. Makes sense. And this is neither here nor there, but why is wallpaper making a comeback? I hate wallpaper. It sucks. Wood paneling. I know. I get it.
I'm more of a wood panel guy.
I'm more of a wood panel guy than I am wallpaper.
Sound off in the chat.
Someone had to say it. We were all thinking it.
Put 1 in the chat for wallpaper, 2 in the chat for wood paneling.
Yes. Let's figure this out right now.
But in clip 10, we're going to find out the real easy fucking solution to being tortured by dickheads online is to put your phone down.
I just wanted people to be like, look, I'm breaking down. Like I quit. I'm surrendering. Please stop talking about me. Like I'm done. Like, and that's what I wanted people to see, but it backfires, right? Because obviously in the storm of cancellation, people are like, you're being manipulative. This is fake tears, which kind of makes it worse for the person then going through it, right? Like it was real. But for me, I just felt like if people could see the hurt, like, because I used to do that to like boyfriends, to anyone. Like I wanted them to see that I was actually in pain.
Ugh.
But it kind of backfires, so it doesn't really work that way, which now I haven't cried or had a breakdown online since then. And I'm so happy and much prouder for
3
that.
years without a gigantic online breakdown.
Are we knocking on wood?
Congratulations.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah, social media is bad for your health.
It's
everyone.
really bad for your health. Even when it pays you millions of dollars, it still is bad for you. Go figure. All
And just
right.
when you thought that Trisha was the crazy person in this conversation, Rainn is going to prove that. I just called this Rainn tarded.
Ultimately, at Soul Boom, we're looking for spiritual tools to help us in our personal transformation and societal transformation. So
I love that. This psychotic breakdown, I should also mention, was very different than anything else I have experienced in the sense that I was like hearing voices during this era, right? From 2020 to like 2021, when I was getting triggered a lot. And it's something I should have shut down. I definitely should have shut down like anybody triggering me, but I don't know. I just play along with it because for so long in my life, I'm like, this is what makes money. So I think I was already conditioned to be like, well, triggers are funny. And when I get triggered, people like it. And then people do like it until they don't, right? And then they're like, this is too weird.
That's such a weird, self-fulfilling like circle, snake eating its own tail of like, everyone looking at me causes me a breakdown and I get canceled. But when I break down, then I make money and I get even more attention and more people are looking at me. And then that makes me have another breakdown. Like I feel like that's what's happening to America. I
Yeah.
feel like
No,
we're
it's
America
Trisha Paytus.
right now.
It's specifically
Oh, wow, I don't-
Trisha Paytus. This is you've just discovered, Rainn Wilson, why everyone hates Trisha Paytus. This is the cycle that none of us can stand.
He said, "You're America" at the end of that.
Yeah, you're America.
Yeah, he must have seen a certain look in her eye. He's like, the country is what I'm talking about.
It sounds like he's trying to get on the side of the crazy homeless person that's trying to stab him at the bus stop. You know?
Right.
It's like, oh no,
Right.
we're in this together, right?
Which is society's fault because
Yeah.
I have a fun clip here because this guy Link, who was this devoted Christian, he has this revelation, and he's going to tell it on Rainn's show. And I guess Rainn didn't realize how big of a deal it was because it took him a long time to react to it.
I have not been able to pray for, over a decade, maybe 15 years.
Wow.
I love that Rainn is like, what's the interesting part? I mean, whoa, you haven't prayed in 15 years. That's wild.
Sums up a lot of people's experience.
What's this guy going to say next? It's unpredictable. So then he does have his story about how he recently prayed. And in true Link fashion, it is boring AF.
And my mind is just going 100 miles an hour as I'm doing this because there's like a part of me that's like, don't you do this? And then there's a part of me that's like, well, what do you, is this even anything if you don't, what is prayer if you don't believe that you're talking to an entity? That's how I feel, was that I was just doing it just to see what it would feel like.
Good stuff. Could you imagine praying and that's the story you bring onto a podcast to talk about? I wasn't sure what to think. Is there a God? I wasn't sure. Cool. Good stuff. Moving on.
I just wanted to see what it was like. Now you sound like Army Hammer.
Right. Yeah. I'm not even that into God, but I prayed to him just to see what that was all about.
I let him stick the tip in just to see what it felt like. Okay.
All right, let's get back on the other mental patient here, Trisha Paytus.
Okay. Okay. So let's skip to clip 13 here. This is she starts talking about she's addicted to pills, she's addicted to attention, she's addicted to food. What else could you possibly let's find something that no one's addicted to and get addicted to that as well.
Same thing with money, same thing with everything. I used to just spend. I'd make $500,000 a month and spend $500,000 a month. Like I could just do that.
What would you spend it on?
Music videos. I used to produce my own music videos, and I would go to like Universal Studios back lot, get fire department for like hoses going off, and I recreated like D-Day like in Long Beach. Like I had all these soldiers and blow ups. Like
So you're addicted to making your own music videos.
Yeah, I spent a lot of money, $10 million on it.
Jesus Christ.
Rainn hears that and ask a stupid question.
Yeah, in like 6 years.
Are they good?
Nope, I have nothing to show for the $10 million. Maybe that's what Brewster's Millions. They should have just made music videos.
Yeah.
You never had that idea. That's a good way to waste a lot of money. That's not an addiction. You're addicted to attention. It's not, you know what I mean? She goes to therapy 4 times a week and she doesn't know that creating music videos is not an addiction.
Yeah, it's a way to get attention.
It's a way to get attention. It's because you think that you're an actual musician.
And according to those videos, eat.
Yeah, right.
It's an opportunity.
I didn't want to eat
snacks.
McDonald's, but the song's all about eating McDonald's. So, of course, I had to do that in the music video. Works out well.
This is a show about spirituality, Carl.
Yes, correct.
So Trisha needs to take it to a spiritual tip in this next clip.
Yeah, I feel like when people talk about manifesting, it's also like praying. But if you even go back to the original religion, like Wiccan, right? Like the pagans, they're using like the elements, the smoke, the fire, but it's doing all the same thing, right? Like you're all like, or even energy, right? When scientists are like, oh, the Big Bang, but it's like people believe God, it's like God, Big Bang, energy, source, whatever you want to call it. It's kind of the same, right? And people don't like when I say that because that can be whatever. But
Jesus
I
Christ.
think it's all
no.
similar. When you like, even like in Buddhism, like when you meditate, it's like science will call it like wise mind, right? Like therapy will be like, that's wise mind. But to me, it's like meditation. So I kind of learned that. And I really did study like everything.
Can we just also say we don't actually need gravity? But that's a different thing.
What do you mean by
I
that?
saw someone was this a TikTok? We were watching something where someone's like, we don't actually need gravity. We were watching this with me. Like, we actually don't need it.
What do you mean that we don't need gravity?
What if it was never invented?
Invented by who?
Sir Isaac Newton.
You forgot how stupid she is. Thank you for that blast from the past there from frenemies.
Sounds like you're an expert.
So she says the Big Bang is the same as God. Do you understand what the Big Bang Theory is? Holy shit, that's stupid.
Or science and meditation, yada, yada, yada.
I think she caught how stupid that was, and she's like, I better say some other shit real fast.
You know those Wiccans, the very first religion ever? What? the fuck?
Those gravitarians.
Gravitarians. I think they invented gravity, actually, those gravitarians. All right. Well, I like it when she gets deep. And that was.
Well, maybe you.
I've learned nothing from any of these clips so far.
Maybe
I learned shit.
Maybe you want her to teach you how to meditate because apparently, if
is this
you're
that counting clouds thing again?
meditating on TikTok, people who are watching you have the ability to throw rotten tomatoes at you while you're doing it.
Oh.
So this gets pretty fun.
And it's me like literally just because sometimes I would do just like vibrations, right? The all that stuff like that. I would just do vibrations just to see if I could feel something different. So I was doing that as I was doing yoga, as I was doing, whatever. And I was like, well, let me just go on TikTok live because I'm not creating any other content. And then people were throwing tomatoes at me. But it helped. It helped me. People thought I was being funny, but still to this day, I really do start my morning off with like meditation when I can.
Yeah, but not on TikTok. Why? What does meditation have to do with broadcasting? It's the these people are fucking they've lost their minds.
Yeah, that's not useful.
There's a lot of things you shouldn't do while broadcasting. Meditation is top of the list. I can't imagine something more boring than that.
Right, that's not content.
No.
And then she says probably one of the biggest signs, evidence of a moron that I use as a benchmark.
Mm-hmm. Is it the co-host WATP?
Yes.
Is this number 17?
Yes, sorry.
Because I also play the lottery every day.
That is a tax on dumb people, the lottery. Or in this case, tax on a very rich dumb person. So works out well there, I guess.
Yeah, she it makes you sick how much money she has earned and pissed away. But this is another one where you realize that Rainn is also a crackpot, and this is just two insane people talking to each other.
So.
Of a feeling, it's kind of like seeing
pause it real quick. He asked her if she's had like a spiritual awakening or like a trans, I don't know. I'm not spiritual, but and so then she's like, no, I haven't, but have you? So he's describing his spiritual awakening.
Oh, great.
Of a feeling, it's kind of like seeing things in a new way. I once had this dream when I was 19 that I was flying over this green field, and there were all these like ducks, and they were scattered, and geese or some birds were scattering, and I was flying.
You stupid fucking blabbermouth!
Colors were so vibrant.
Who gives a shit? Who gives a fuck?
It was this just otherworldly experience, and everything was kind of built of love.
boring as the
The
internet.
sun was
When you
love in
listen
the
to this.
sky. The green was love. The birds
What is this
scattering. There was-
garbage? How do they have a podcast?
And I woke up, and I just
horrible.
had this profound experience that I think some people need
I can't
ayahuasca to
fucking
tap
take
into,
it.
which was that everything is love. I really believe that
He's a
I dreamed of the next world or the next plane or a higher plane or something like that, that I was soaring in it, but it wasn't just up here, and it wasn't just here. It was visceral.
It was
It was
here.
a vivid fucking dream. Jesus Christ, these people.
I had a fun dream once.
And I realized everything is love. Good stuff. Great takeaway from that.
A woman with postpartum depression throwing her baby in the garbage. Is that love?
No, but everything else, Andy. You have to be a wise ass. You have to be a wisecracker. Rainn's trying to talk about his
I
spirituality.
guess I'll never be invited on Soul Boom.
Try some wise mind.
I'd love to be on Soul Boom. I'd love to call this asshole out.
I love that he makes her drink from a Soul Boom mug, but he, being the host, has two.
He has two Soul Boom mugs
It's
for
like
some reason.
Johnny Carson sitting slightly higher than the other guests.
All right, what else you got, Andy? A couple more?
Well, sure. This is Rainn describing. This is his evidence that there's an afterlife.
Oh,
Some
good.
90-year-old widow was hallucinating. I don't know. I'm not buying it, but he did.
Someone very old died. The husband died in his 90s, and the wife was there in the room as he passed. And as he passed, she saw her daughter that had passed away in the room.
Bullshit!
Wearing a blue dress at the foot of the bed of her husband, who was literally in death rattle, like the final breaths. She saw her daughter in a
That's
blue dress,
fascinating. Please,
and
go
the
on.
daughter was putting a blue blanket over the body of her husband. A symbolic blue blanket. She didn't actually see, like, there was all of a sudden a blanket didn't just appear.
Right. It's a
you know what
ghost
I mean?
blanket. We get it.
And she said, without saying
Yeah,
anything,
all of it's
but just
fake.
in
Yeah,
her
we get
mind,
it.
like, are you taking him? And she said, yeah, I'm taking him, and all is good, and we're going. And there were other people in the room, and this just happened last week.
Yeah, I believe it 100%.
I feel like, are you making that up?
Yeah.
Do you think you sound dumb saying that?
The mom was like, "Are you taking him?" And the ghost was like, "Yeah, deuces. I'm out. 5,000." There was other people in the room. He didn't say they didn't see it either. He just said there was people watching a 90-year-old woman.
No
say
one
that
pulled
she
out their
sees her-
phone.
Yeah,
Right. No one pulled out their phone for
Pixar
this one.
didn't happen, Rainn.
Right. It's like woke dad all over again. Don't tell me what just happened. It was that cool. Show me.
Yeah.
Get a photo or something.
But in my last clip 20, this is Trisha. Like I said, it just makes you sick how she's managed to like fail upward.
Mm-hmm.
And she's
What makes me
grateful
sick is
for
her
it.
body.
Yeah, that too. But
I talk about it because I just feel lucky. I feel like now if everything went away, like I'd be good because I like made the money, I've invested what like I can like live now, you know? But I always will talk about it glowingly because I kind of made like because I know what you're saying. Like for me, money was like the end all be all, right? Like if I got $1 million, $10 million, I'm like, then I made it. And so I did that, right? I was able to do that and I felt really great about it and I felt really lucky. So I talk about it in the sense like, wow, I got to do all this and make the money I wanted and live, which is good. But now, I don't know, I don't necessarily care so much about like the money, but I'm thankful for what I did do to get here. You know what I mean? To be stable in my life, to finally have enough money to not have to worry about it.
sounds like you got your priorities straight.
Yeah, she's got it all figured out right now.
Money equals happiness, right? That's what I've heard.
I'm sure that if everything went away, Trish would have no problem with that at all. She'd be totally cool not being in the spotlight anymore and being famous. She'd be totally cool with that, right?
She stopped herself there. I thought she was going to say, at least I made a difference.
No, at
And
least I made a buck.
She's like, nope.
Yeah.
I made videos.
Right. All right. Well, that is Rainn Wilson's podcast, Soul Boom.
Thanks, Tim.
Soul crushing.
Tim's our boy that came to visit Chris.
Yes.
So
Tim,
good looking out.
Tim from the Boston area, right?
Yes.
He's a good egg.
Was hanging out in Rochester. Well, guys, I want to thank you all for watching the program here and for supporting the program. Supertip.gg/WATP.
All hail Yeezy. He isn't crazy. He's right.
See, this is the kind of fun you can have. Having Howard Stern praise. Yay. It's great. Anonymous $5 says Marco Polo had a journey. Lewis and Clark had a journey. Zhang, he had a journey. Bitch, you're too fat to have an actual journey. Yes. Correct. Let's stop throwing that word around. Silence Duke at $5 says, so Ethan had a falling out with Trish, even though she's a dumb bitch. Hassan, also a dumb bitch, and is at war with the internet. What a drama queen. Yes. Ethan Klein is always in the middle of it. Thank you, Silence Do Good. KFT coming in.
Carl, who is the twink up top of the screen, does he ever have a wish to make pottery in my rape dungeon? I mean, Sidey's studio. I mean, art studio. Is he a trucker? Call me my knicker.
Well, Andy got an official invite right there. It's very exciting.
Gavin Newsom has a fucking podcast. Can you believe that?
Yes, Germs. I was actually watching it with Michael Savage. I watched the episode today. It wasn't really clippable. Michael Savage was a little too nice to him, but it was interesting. Sounds do good. Another $5. Kevin Brennan believes gravity was invented. He said the inventors were threatening to turn it off, and our Lord and Savior President Trump stopped him. I believe that. Kevin Brennan's a dumb guy. Sorry, checks out.
Turn it off.
That makes sense to me. Let's see. Don Fried Chicken, $5. Do you think if you three really try, you could maybe be half as funny as Blind Mike?
Guys, we can do it.
I'm going to try. I'm going to try to be half as funny as Blind Mike. That's our goal today.
I can see twice as much. Does that count for anything?
Timothy McD, thank you, Andy, for the ride back to my hotel. Oh, what happened after that? Interesting. Rerun says, I miss Adam and I appreciate Andy for trying. Love to Chris, Carl, God bless. He's doing more than just trying, baby. He's bringing it. The OG Mumbling Nick just gifted a Who Are These Podcasts membership. Thank you very much for doing that, OG Mumbling Nick. You can buy a membership. You can gift memberships. You get all the free, you get all the bonus episodes that we do. And you can watch every episode of Who Are These Podcasts. You get all the links for them. Cool Cut Casting, $2. Carl, please review a Shuli Network show on WATP. Maybe I will. Maybe I will. What is a Shuli show? So I know they're doing Anti-Karen, which I love. I love when they're clowning Kevin Brennan.
I checked it out. It was funny.
Yeah, I was watching that last night. And then, what else they do? Trainables.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what else they do over there. Cool Cut Casting says, wait, I forgot the Zionist lobby keeps you silent. That's true. That is true. Duke of the Dog Pick verse. Chris Popke. Do Andy and Joe ever switch places on podcasts?
This is Joe.
Yeah, I was going to say, you guys ever swap wives and see if they notice? That old gag. Big Daddy Dodo. Hey, fellas.
Oh, hey.
Big Daddy Dodo with the Trisha Paytus avatar. What's wrong with the face? Everything. Rocco Orb 2002 says Trisha Paytas makes Lena Dunham look like Meryl Streep. I don't understand it, but I agree. I agree in every way. Queefer Tuna Crotch Stutterland. Lady K, you saw OJ Intervention last night on Tukey. I did see Tukey last night. Yes. Gonzo, member for 19 months. Don't talk smack about Rhett and Link, Carl. Not everyone can be as cool as Stuttering John. Also, SJ coached Rainn Wilson's son in Little League. Skol! That's an interesting point. I've heard Rainn Wilson get brought up on John's show. I've seen him on John's show. And apparently him and John are friends because their kids played sports together. And John never talks to Rainn about any of this shit. I didn't know this about Rainn. You would think that John would know something about his buddy Rainn Wilson.
Rainn, I noticed you also look homeless.
Yeah, right. The one punch hug of therapy is not real therapy, says you. Big Daddy Dodo says, wait, what? Keeps changing out his avatar over there. Busy Dodo. Sean, the producer, something that nobody else is addicted to. How about Opie's shows? We have Opie stuff coming up in just a second. JFK Head Chunk $2 says her videos are better than his podcast, Fail Dozer. Okay. I could see that. At least there's something going on. KFT again over on the Super Tip system.
Does that woke guy need a drummer for his rape studio? Kyle, you stupid espresso martini. Nice feet, Django. No body caress. Hey, Chris.
Hello.
Lisa Boswell giving you a shout out right there. Producer Chris. Pretty exciting. Someone sent this to me. I can't remember where I saw it, but somebody sent me, there's this show called Cockfight. And I think they're an up and coming show with comedians, kind of like a Come Town kind of thing. 3 guys sitting around chewing the shit, as Stuttering John would say. And this recent episode, I think they're trying to start beef with us, guys.
How about this? We can put the feelers out for this one. Do you ever hear of a podcast called Who Are These Podcasts? I've heard of it, and I've never watched it. I've listened to a lot of their episodes over the years.
Nice. Thank you.
You heard about
No,
this?
I haven't
Drew?
heard about this.
Essentially, I think it's audio only anyway, but what they do is
Catch up. Got a YouTube stream, baby.
going for years. They listen to podcasts and then they pretty much just trash the shit out of them. They've done it for years. It's actually really enjoyable. And I believe they're members of the Dabbleverse. Do you know the Dabbleverse?
Yeah. No.
Which is like Kevin Brennan and all these other guys
okay.
where they all just talk about Gina Bosconski's fucking wedding or whatever. Anyway,
That's my favorite description of the Dabbleverse.
That's hilarious.
It's Kevin Brennan and they're talking about Gino's wedding. That's the Dabbleverse.
That's all we do.
That's it. You got it.
they all make $1 million a year somehow.
It's true.
Anyway, it's beneath us. I like having, but we're monetized. We're in the monetization boys now, so things have changed. This time next week, I'm gonna have a fucking
Rolex,
fake Rolex. Yeah.
All right, so that is check out Cockfight. That's the name of the YouTube channel. They're trying to get their subscriptions up. They only have 1,200 right now, but they want to get to 5,000. So check out our friends over there at Cockfight when you get a chance. Also, speaking of our friends, we had Ben Sixsmith on the show.
Yes.
And his article is now online. So if anyone wants to go to thecritic.co.uk, and there is the article, The Irresistible Rise of the Lol Cows. And it's interesting what they chose here. The image is of Howard with Cher for some reason. I mean, we read this article. It's Howard's mentioned in it, and then the subheadline here is, why are British political podcasts dominated by failed politicians and establishment journalists? What?
That's wildly different.
It's very different than what this article is about, which is mostly Stuttering John and what a piece of shit he is and how we clown him.
Some people might be disappointed when they sink their teeth into this.
Right. There's like, this
AI writing these
Look,
headlines.
Howard looks terrible.
Yo, seriously, who wrote that headline? Doesn't even make sense. But anyway, that's available online. Go check that out. Share that with friends so that they know about the Dabbleverse and Stuttering John, the world's greatest lol cow. I think we can all agree on that. And when I say we can all agree on that, I mean me, producer Chris, trucker Andy, and Erik Nagel. Erock, what's up, buddy?
Hello, how are you?
I'm doing great, man. Thanks for hopping on today.
Thank you for having me.
Well, you've been making the rounds. Of course, you were on Chrissy's show.
I made one round, and then everyone else just picked it up.
Well, Chrissy's got the new studio, and you were the first guest, right?
Yeah, I was. It was a lot of fun. Nice place that she's got all set up. Vast improvement from what she had with I forgot her show's name, but when she was at Compound, and she seems to be the Wet Spot. Thank you. And then she's going to be expanding. I guess she's doing one-on-one interview stuff. So there's more of that coming. I don't know who else is booked, but mine was the inaugural one. I think just to get all the bugs out, all the technical problems. Like, let's waste it on Erock, and then we'll have real people on.
Which is smart. I remember her very first podcast that she ever did. Gina was the first guest. So she knows how to find some losers and pop them on there to work stuff out.
She's slowly making her way up to a normal guest. So,
but you actually were a little provocative, and you got Opie responding to you on a recent episode.
I've heard, I haven't seen.
I know. I can't wait. I can't wait to show you. Before we get to that, though, I want to show you, this just ended up in my algorithm. I saw this. This is from like 7 months ago, but this is a quick Opie short that I think is a little ironic.
All right.
Hey, just want to come on here and say if Trump wins the election, I'm leaving America. Just kidding. I'm not a self-absorbed, unaware, narcissistic celebrity.
Wait, what? What did he just say? He's not a what now? Hold on.
I'm not a self-absorbed, unaware, narcissistic celebrity.
Not a celebrity. That part checks out.
Who thinks people give a shit what they say? Yeah, we all have the means to just pick up and go to Europe and live because we don't like who's going to be the president of the United States of America. Ah, shut up.
Take that, Rosie O'Donnell.
That's the big send. Throw the phone into the beach and then walk away. He also likes to use the beach as the platform to announce that he's leaving places. This is how we found out he wasn't coming back to Sirius XM.
Right.
And that's where Jim and Sam became Jim and Sam, because he disappeared for a month and then
Didn't
was
he
writing.
also write like a note on the beach?
Yeah, he was writing
scratched?
cryptic messages
Yeah.
on the beach that he wasn't coming back. Did he sign a contract? I think somewhere down the line, after he left Sirius altogether, he was doing a podcast. I think he was teasing that Artie was going to be coming to join him or something. Like, I thought he was being funny. He wrote something about Opie and Artie or something like that was going to. He just writes messages on the beach. I'm glad he's. Well, I thought he was glad. Yeah, thought he was overdoing all of that, but I guess not. We're back on the beach making false announcements.
Well, he's at the beach house this week, and so he's doing his stream that is first thing in the morning, and apparently the family is still in bed because it's very early, and I guess maybe the beach house isn't as spacious as his Manhattan apartment because he can't be as rowdy when he's doing the show from there.
This is early. Yes, it's very, very early. People are sleeping in the house. It's time to wakey. Coffee is on. We're here at the ocean, man. We're way out east on Long Island. I'm trying to talk a little softer because people are still sleeping. I want to be outside on the deck, but it's still very, very windy, very, very cold. So we'll do it this way today. That's all right, right?
You think he's gotten a talking to?
Yeah.
You think maybe the wife and kids are just like, all right, I can't stand you screaming into that stupid computer 5 a.m. every day. You got to tone it down, buddy.
Banging on the walls, yelling, "Shut up, stupid!"
I do enjoy the fact that he's all about doing his show the way he wants to do it.
Right.
But he always has to hide the fact that he's doing it. Like he did it in the car at Costco when nobody saw him. He has to get up super early in the morning. Like this is before probably the kids even get up for school or whatever.
Yep.
So he goes and he does, I think, only like 40 minutes, half an hour, 40 minutes of his live stream. And then that's it. There's nothing else unless he's at the bar.
Or
or
if he's unleashed.
Oh, that is true.
Let's not forget.
Nobody's around him, though.
Sometimes Opie is unleashed.
Yeah.
And he can go anywhere within a 3-block radius of his apartment.
I'd love it if people were still shushing him.
So Opie tries to get a Trump chant going, but it's very difficult to be enthusiastic about it when you have to whisper.
Bob the Most, what's up, brother? How are you? We got Jules Winfield, 94, with a Trump. Oh, my God. Trump. There you go.
Greg, would you shut the fuck up?
Whisper harder.
You're hearing pounding from the ceiling as they're just stomping on the floor.
It just kind of loses its momentum and energy when you have to whisper these things. Like there's no reason to start chanting on the show.
It would be so fun if he's doing these things. And like we used to have an old thing called Assault on the Media.
Mm-hmm.
And it would just be like people in the background of live newscasts with signs and playing instruments and, having a parade, doing whatever they could to disrupt the news. If this looks like a public beach, if you could just find the area and just see the only light that's on and a guy sitting there, you just have people in the back on the water doing a whole bunch, like Tony Soprano, that episode where he just anchored off the boat and he was playing music just to drive those people out. Something like that would be a lot of fun.
Now he's getting notes from people. This is actually fascinating.
Is he looking over and like picking a piece of paper off the side like someone's actually there giving him notes?
No, not in real time.
Because then we do need to send a wellness call over.
No,
there.
he's actually changing things up.
Good morning. I hope everyone likes my cleaned up look. I guess it was too much for some people yesterday with the bed head and just rolling out of bed with a ratty hoodie on. All right. If I'm going to make my big comeback to radio, I got to look the part.
Now he says that like he's joking, but he's not. because he made it a point a few times that he actually shaved and took a shower before doing this show, something he normally does not do. And of course, he doesn't swear on his show. It's been speculated that he's trying to get back on the radio. That's why he does first thing in the morning, to show that he can still do it. And he makes that joke like, oh, I guess I got to look good for my return to the radio. But wait till you find out who told him to shower and wash his hair and clean up before the show.
It wasn't any of you guys. It was one of my people. You know, I got a manager and an agent. Trust me, they don't make much money off me these days. But they're like, the live stream was good, but I don't know. They have to talk to me with kid gloves because they're really,
because you're an asshole.
They really want me to be doing more.
Yeah.
But you kind of looked homeless. Okay, I'll talk to you later. Bye. And they hung up before I could give them a talking to.
Is that a crazy statement Opie just made? He literally has a manager or an agent going, yeah, I tuned in on the live stream. You look terrible, man. What do you do? You're not going to get employed looking like that. You got to clean up a little bit. What the fuck?
Saying it on this show for years, but
right.
You look like shit is not an easy message to deliver.
And then he even has to explain how he's a lunatic and you have to say things to him in a certain way or else he freaks out at you. He just admitted all of that. Erik, why is he still talking to an agent or a manager? What is going on here?
I don't know. I know the guy, if he's still with the same guy, I had to look up his name, but if it's still the same guy, I know the guy that is representing him.
Mm-hmm.
I know that company has a lot of high level talent. I don't know how they're still holding on. You have to have a certain amount of money coming in per year for them to hold on to you.
Correct. And there's zero. He goes, they're not making much money off me these days. You're not making any money. You've done nothing.
I do like his takeaway is the one piece of advice that was given to him is the one he wanted to give a talking to was if he is trying to do more, you got to look better now. We're past the days of just audio only. Audio is now in addition to video being the predominant thing. Clean yourself up a little bit. Being up at 6:30 in the morning to do the stream isn't setting the tone like I'm available to be hired somewhere else because I can get up at this time.
Right.
That doesn't matter. It's the content, the visuals, the sound, all of that other stuff is what's selling you. So the actual real advice that he needs to hear is the one he's going to give them a talking to, and they hung up on him.
Isn't it funny that everyone who talks to Opie gives him advice too? Yeah. Every time he's like, Tim Sabian called me and he was telling me I got to do this thing and that thing. Like everyone's just like, Opie, what you're doing now is not working. Stop it. And he's like, fuck you.
Yeah. You still there?
I'll just show you real quick. This is what Opie looked like the morning before.
There we are. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to my live stream. We are
it's not that different. I mean, honest. If I'm being honest, I don't really know.
Change.
Yeah, it's a little homeless, but
that's so ridiculous. He's just like, well, I bought the camera and I have a fucking boom mic. Why haven't I won an Academy Award? No, you got to fucking do something interesting. You can't just wake up at the right time.
In due time, Andy. He'll start doing something interesting soon. Give him a break. Trump. He's only been podcasting for like 7 years now. He'll figure it out eventually. Now, this is a serious Stuttering John parallel. I've been pointing these out. There's a lot of things that Opie and John both do, and one of them is talking about people in the chat turning on them.
You know what's weird? Barrister was like one of ours. It's weird when I see some of these people turn. It's really strange. Barrister 1401 has changed and turned on me. There's another guy, I don't want to mention his name, but he turned on me. And then there are people I see, because we don't really block a lot of people. That's another thing my manager / agent said. He's like, why'd you get a moderator? I'm like, why? Let these guys punch themselves out. Yeah, but
he's constantly getting advice from these people and always saying no to it every time. Yeah, Opie, we're seeing these comments you're putting up. They're making you look bad. You should probably get someone to mod the show. I don't care. All right, I'm wasting my time.
Unfortunately, with working with him for so long, it it does take a long time to convince him of something that might be positive or might be something that we do in a step in the right direction for things. Because it could have been the staff, it could have been Aunt Jim, management, other comics telling him something. Yeah, but then there's always there's always a and you're just like, how about you? Not saying you have to 100% do it, but at least listen to what is being presented to you, and then think about it. You don't have to act on it right now, but let it sit there, and then try to do something positive with it. And it's never happened.
I got to be honest. I have a lot of conversations with a lot of different people.
No, you don't.
And none of them give me advice on what I should be doing on the podcast. It never comes up. Is that odd? Like Opie, every conversation he has, people are like, dude, you got to get a better camera. You got to get your light fixed, your backlit. You got this issue. Your hair sucks. You got to shave, look presentable. Why am I not getting these notes? Does no one love me? What's going on?
No, I don't. You're not a lovable person. But with him, at least they give the benefit of the doubt. Like, I don't want to shit on the guy. Let me just try to offer up some advice. And if he doesn't take it, that's on him. But at least I know I tried and said something. That's what everyone does. That's the approach to him. It's like,
I know. I'm trying to tell Opie, if he's watching this clip right now, that the fact that everyone is giving you advice is a clear sign that you're doing it wrong.
People want to help him.
Yes,
they want to. It's not
Correct.
like John, where they're like, "Fuck, let him rot and die." You know, with Hope, they like, you know what? I'm gonna reach out. I'm gonna see if he'll listen to me. Oh, he didn't. All right, but at least I know in the back of my head, I tried to offer up something that
even
was going to
Anthony,
work.
when he talks about Opie, is oftentimes saying he should be doing a show. He should be doing this. He should be doing that. And Opie takes it as he's trashing me. But he's literally offering up advice. He wants him to be doing better than this. Like everyone who talks to Opie is trying to get him to do better. And I was wondering when he said he's talking to his agent or his manager about getting a moderator and making these changes. He said he talked to Tim Sabian recently. There's no way he has an agent or a manager. Is this all of the Tim Sabian conversation? He's trying to spread it out to multiple entities in his life. I think he's got something going on.
No, I know the guy who at least at one point, like
All right,
through
we'll call him.
2016.
Get him on the phone right now.
2017.
Ask him if he's talked to Opie in the last 3 years.
All right, I'll send the guy an email and see.
Please do.
I know that guy was real and he did have somebody that was trying to help him, but Tim has always been a supporter of not just Ope, but Ant, of Norton. Like he sees the money before he sees the friendships for anything. He's like, if I could just get them back together. Like I've had those talks with Tim and I was like, Tim, it's not going to happen. Jim wants nothing to do with it. Ant won't do anything. Ope definitely won't do anything. It's like, you're the only one who's still, kind of holding on to this idea that, well, we could do it. It'll make them, they'll each make $1 million each for one show. I'm like, then make it happen, Tim. Like, I'm not shitting on Tim, but your thoughts on this is like, it's so far removed. Even if you could get them to the table, is anyone going to care at this point?
The only way a reunion would work and anyone would care about it is if they hashed it out. If it was Opie and Anthony and Jim all just talking about what has gone down since Anthony was fired from SiriusXM and even before that, and they literally had it out. That will never happen.
No, because you'd have to be honest with yourself.
Correct. That will never, ever. Opie would never subject himself to that. It'd be too much.
But yeah, people do want to help him out. That's the initial response to him before going, there's nothing I can do. I don't talk to the guy anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm like, so we don't block many people, but then I'll see people that have been just hammer fisting me. And the next thing you know, they're one of mine. It doesn't make sense.
Again, this is a guy that doesn't, it goes deeper than that, but this is a guy that doesn't understand when like people in his family or friends growing up that cared about him, that loved him or was really concerned about him. He can't accept that. And to this day, he still has that blocker where it's like people want to legitimately help him and he can't. It's like you're invading his personal space and he can't function as a human being to listen or to try or to like, what, can you help me? Admitting that you were wrong or, what, I need to make a change. Could you, I want to take you up on your offer. Could you help me out? He just can't get to that point. And that's why everybody stops dealing with him.
Yeah, everyone has stopped dealing with him.
Yeah.
And, you made a comment on Chrissy's show we were talking about earlier about the day that he left Sirius And I remember you telling the story here on WATP too, a while back, where he like went into the control room where you were and yelled at you, and then tried to slam the door, but couldn't, and stormed off.
Yeah.
So Kyle, this guy, Unique, Scienzy, you guys remember Unique? He super chatted Opie with a question.
Who is this guy? Erock exposed. Shut up.
I'll read it since he's not going to. It says, Erock exposed you. Why did you yell at him when you got fired?
All right.
Now, you look at you looking all tough. You're real tough in your avatar picture, aren't you?
So Opie first focuses on the fact that Kyle thinks he looks tough in his avatar.
He's wearing
picture.
a backwards baseball hat.
I don't understand that.
This is the thing that Ant has been talking about a lot lately, is that Ope doesn't go to investigate anything. Like, I know you're in the moment, you're bringing up the chats and goes, well, I don't know anything about that. I'll look into that. And then if you go and you look into a clip or an audio or something, you come back the next day with the clip and the audio and go, all right, here it is. I'm going to break
Opie even said recently, we played it on the show, where he goes, I got to start looking into this stuff myself because I'm reacting to things that people tell me and they turn out to not be true.
Yeah.
But he doesn't actually learn. He says the words. He knows it.
It's maddening. It's like, investigate it. Anybody, like all of these people fall for this shit. Ant pointed it out recently, where it's just like, yeah, they're doing it to stir up emotion. That's what all these type of shows are. And they all fall for it. And they're like, well, send me the clip. If you said that, send me the clip. Send it to me right now. I'll look at it. We'll play it on here and we'll watch it. We'll review it. That's what you should be doing. Everybody just piles on there knowing that it's going to agitate him so that they can clip it, put it out, send it to Anthony, send it to Norton, send it to whoever.
And this is Unique, who put out his own video all about this.
And that guy does it too. Like, I mean, the way I learned about him was he did a whole thing with Brendan Schaub. And that started getting everywhere.
lawsuit.
Like all the UFC, the MMA stuff were carrying it about what a piece of shit Brendan Schaub was. And it all goes back to that guy.
No, for channels like this and the show that we do, we have a lot to thank Unique for, because he really did set a precedent with that case.
Yeah.
Where fair use is pretty loose. You could just play 10 minutes of a show and not even comment on it. Just be like, fair use.
Loose use.
Yeah. It's actually helped us out, I think.
It's just that he falls for this all the time, because that statement is half correct. I did say that he did, because that's what he did. That story has never changed.
Correct.
It wasn't an expose. I've said that many times. So, it might have been new to some people hearing it the first time, but that's what people do.
That's all it was. Just that super chat. And Opie gets so triggered, he's going to go on a little trip down memory lane.
Okay.
Erock exposed me. You know what? Let me tell you something about Erock. That guy shouldn't be saying anything crappy about me. He was a super fan that I literally met on the side of a highway,
because
gave him the break of a lifetime.
I know. Hold on. He's going to focus so much on where you guys met. It's like it's an important part of this story for some reason.
He was down in the West Palm Beach area. This was during the time that they had just recently got fired, so they weren't allowed to go anything. He went on a bit of a nomad journey around the country. He has family in Florida, so he was going up and down Florida, and I reached out to him, and because he was near the West Palm Beach area, and I said, was pitching for when the show would come back, everything else. He's like, well, I'm coming up the highway. Is there anywhere near the side of the highway we could meet at? And any other time,
I was using it against you. I met this guy that side of the highway.
Yeah, and you're like, okay. And I'm like, well, I know there's a truck stop Cracker Barrel right near I-95 down there, and that's where we met. And that was it. Like, we had a meeting.
Let's let Opie tell the story,
All right.
Eric. He's the professional broadcaster here.
The break of a lifetime. He wasn't going anywhere in radio.
Did you hear that, Eric? You weren't going anywhere in radio. Your
I was
career
working for Clear Channel down there for their talk network at the time.
Nope. Your career was going nowhere.
Met him at where did I met him at a Cracker Barrel on the way to I think it was I don't even know where I was going anymore. I was in Orlando, I think, and I was going to Tampa.
Why is he saying any of these things? Why does Cracker Barrel matter? Why does Orlando or Tampa?
And Orlando and Tampa are next to each other. West Palm Beach is south. He was going down that way for some reason. So
had this super fan. His name was Erik. And he was beyond cool to me, to be honest with you. Look, I give you the good, the bad, and the ugly. Erik was very cool towards me, and he was a super fan, and he had some shows and some tapes. I was like, yeah, right on, man. And we met at a Cracker Barrel. We hit it off.
So, this is already weird because Opie's he was going nowhere in radio, but Erik created this meeting, set it up, met with Opie, had things to show him to demonstrate his capabilities. And Opie went, yeah, this is good. You're hired. Does that sound like a guy who's not going anywhere in radio, or a guy who knows
I showed him how to archive
push his
their
career?
stuff. I was showing him how to get his stuff from NEW at the time because he didn't have any of that. It was all a presentation to sell myself. It's like, hey, hire me to come when you guys come back. You need me to do all of these things for you. That's what it was.
Erik, I got to cut you off right there because Opie is going to tell you shouldn't be saying shit.
And then I gave him the chance of a lifetime. He wasn't going to be a big star doing radio his way.
He's not a big star anyway.
And I, Erik, I hired you. So you shouldn't be saying shit about me if you want to know the truth.
Slobbo. Okay, asshole.
Isn't that so bizarre that a guy did you a favor once and you're never allowed to say anything that he did? And I don't even like Cracker Barrel. I don't care.
This is where I didn't put this together until recently. Somebody made this parallel to me. I think they watch. Look, I'll give credit. I think they were watching your show and you were making parallels between him and John.
Yeah.
Somebody else was explaining to me and he goes, do you know how you told me this? Yeah. Opie does this like John does. What he's doing right now, I hired you. I gave you the opportunity of a lifetime. Right. Yep. I worked for him for almost 20 years. I went above and beyond for that show, did everything, took all the abuse, all of that shit. Thank that guy a million times over for that opportunity. I will never not thank him for.
Right. No, you've said this many times.
Right.
Yes.
But when do I have to keep, saying, all right, thank you again for giving me that opportunity 20 years ago, 21 years ago.
You can't say shit.
Right.
And I made you who you are, the huge radio star that you are.
The latter of it where, because like when I think I've explained this on your show, the history of the virus, really what it was, we figured out that it was projecting on his part. That's why that bit existed. Mm-hmm. A lot of the targets were on me because I could take a lot of the shit from Ant and Jim where he couldn't, so I would come in there and they would trash me, do whatever. I would do that. And then guess what? I was there the next day, and the next day it kept going. He came up with the Slobbo thing for Roland, and somehow it bounced off Roland, to use a term, and then somehow was applied to me. And then he made t-shirts and he made all this other shit that he was making money off of as a direct insult to me. And you go, all right, fuckhead, I get.
What percentage did he pay you for those?
None,
those shirt
right?
sales?
None.
What?
None. But it was
what
nice.
What percentage of hashtag Ruizing goes to Carl Ruiz's family?
It was nice that there were a couple of shirts that were sent to him that people were throwing them on the grill and burning them because they didn't like him. So, I kept posting those photos and that didn't go over well.
Okay.
He also didn't like the fact that he had a shirt once that was called, he thought shit humor was funny for a while, and he kept coming up with this term called dropping hammers. And it was just a plunger sticking out of a toilet. It was like clip art, and it said dropping hammers, and he was selling these t-shirts for $30 on his website, along with with some photos that it was like Times Square through the windshield of his car covered in rain, so you really couldn't see what it is, and he was signing them and selling them. So I had made comments about, this is kind of stupid what you're selling here, and it all started falling apart from that point on. It's like he can dish it out, he can't take it. And that show, the history of that show, you're in there fighting for your lives every day, so you have to have a good comeback, or else you're the center of the abuse by everybody, including the guests, the comics, whoever in there, for the next hour until we can get to 10 o'clock, whatever it's going to take to get us there. He couldn't do that, so I can't take shots at him, and it's not like I'm insulting him and his family and
no, you're talking about a real thing that happened. And
yeah, exactly. That's what
and if Opie hadn't been an asshole to you, wouldn't be telling the story about it.
No, and I told that story on Chrissy's, but I also said these things I'm telling you are also on that episode where I've said he gave me an amazing opportunity. I thank both him and Ep.
Thank God for Opie. You're always falling for this, always getting triggered. It
Pull
works.
The clip.
Dude. And I play the clip, and I have to say, if there's an Opie drinking game, This has to be on the board for that.
Shouldn't be saying shit about me if you want to know the truth.
If you want to know the truth, he must say that twice or three times an episode.
A lot more these days.
Yeah, a lot more these days. And anyone who talks about the truth and for real and I'm not lying are liars.
To be honest.
Right. Stuttering John does it all the time.
I'm not gonna lie to you. Is
I'm not
another
going to
one.
lie to you about this. If you want to know the truth, shouldn't say shit. Oh, and then he calls us out.
I see you. I see you on these low-level live streams taking dumb shots at me. There's no
You don't.
explain
You
to
didn't
me
see this
someday
one.
what I did.
Opie is interesting because he's been talking more and more about how he sees everything.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the thing that Anthony's been saying, just like, yeah, I watch all these shows. I want to know what's going on. So I watch the stuff. And Opie never knows what's going on until it's convenient for him to know what's going on. And then he talks about, you know,
But we're in this
low-level
time
live
now.
streams.
We're in this time now where like there's a lot of these people out there who I know a lot of shows said this, they're doing the work for me, but yeah, they are. They're clipping all these other people's shows.
Mhm.
They're tagging everybody on this stuff.
Right.
Look, when we were doing Compound, we would get stuff all the time of shows or Opie talking about Anthony or whatever, and it was up to Anthony whether he wanted to discuss it or not. So we had it, we knew about it, but if he didn't want to talk about it, he didn't want to talk about it. But at least you knew, and you had the evidence to go with it when you go to make your point or your claim or whatever. He would hide behind. He loves to not know. That's always been the thing with him. He loves to not know. He doesn't want to know anything, read anything, what have you. But in this day and age, even if you don't want to be a part of any of this stuff, as somebody talks about, you get tagged. You wake up in the morning and you look at your Twitter, your Instagram, whatever, you're tagged onto something of somebody else talking about you, whether you wanted to be involved with it or not. So if he is seeing this stuff now, it's because all these people are making sure he sees it because he says he doesn't look for it. So now they're purposely putting it in front of him to say, you have no excuse. Here's the stuff you can look at.
Even the low-level live streams like this show.
I know, we're slumming.
I see you. I see you on these low-level live streams taking dumb shots at me. There's no explain to me someday what I did to you. Get the F out of here.
I know. I was gonna say,
these people are fucking nuts.
Erock, you reached out to Opie multiple times to try to have a discussion, keep a relationship or something. And he always blew you off. And he's just like, this fucking guy didn't reach out to me if I was so horrible. It's like, yeah, no, he did.
There was I think I might have sent it to you a while ago. I have to see if I even still have it. But somebody sent me a clip several months ago that he had said something about me that that I had blocked him on social media and he had no idea why. And I went, no, he blocked me on social media years ago. Like we're all blocked, right?
Yes.
He did that. The last time, if I've said this story, I apologize. But the last time was like 2018 or something. He had said something about going to do his show or he wanted to go to New York Comic-Con and go and record audio and whatever. Somebody had wrote to him and said, Erock does his show from New York Comic-Con every year. You guys should get together and what have you. That morning, I woke up. My producer at the time, Trevor, said, yeah, Ope's losing his shit on you. Why? So Trevor gives me the thing, and I look, and Ope's screaming that if I wanted to do something with him, that I have his number, I should just text him, stop using Twitter and social media to get attention, right?
Yep.
So I text him, I go, what are you babbling about? Like, what is going on here? I said, somebody told me this, that somebody told you that I would be there. I said, I'll come on your show. You could come on my show. We could do both shows. We don't have to do anybody's shows. If you're going to be there and you'd like to talk, let's do it.
Yep.
And he went on this whole tirade that I was using him for attention on social media when that wasn't the case at all. I never even mentioned to him to come on my show while we were doing it there. This all came up. That moment is when he blocked me, and I've been blocked ever since. So at one point I go, well, fuck him. I'll block him too. So if he ever unblocks me now, he can, see that. And I guess that happened several months ago where he's like, I don't know why I'm blocked. It's like, you did. You know why you did it. You did it to everybody else. Long
Well,
story short.
I'm excited to share with you here, Erock, that Opie finally tells us his biggest mistake. And I'm sure there's a lot of things swimming around in your head right now.
Okay.
A lot of mistakes that Opie made. Which one will it be when he talks about why he's in the predicament that he is now?
Okay.
I mean, my biggest mistake was being the goddamn boss. I never want to be a boss.
So his mistake wasn't what he did as the boss, but
Right.
just being the boss. What else could possibly happen? Of course, everyone's going to hate me. I was the boss back then. It's like, that's what you think your mistake was?
He was the boss in title only. Obviously, whatever was going to happen for the show with management, whatever, Opie usually handled that, right? Anthony wasn't really, he was kind of hands off. He's like, we have a staff. That's their job to handle this stuff, not mine. He comes in and out. Ope wanted the 3 different managers that we had at SiriusXM to be the guys that were overseeing the staff, overseeing everything else that was going on with the channel, with the company, and then tell Opie what's been going on. And we've documented this many times. When management would show up towards the end of the show to talk to him, to give him updates about things that were going on, live events, contests, celebrity guests that were coming in, something with the company, he would find a way to get out like 5 minutes before the show was over, and I'm playing a clip, and then management show, where did they go? Oh, they left 15 minutes ago. What? Yeah, they wanted me to play this so that they could go. He wouldn't sit there and talk with them. So he wanted to be the boss, but not wanted to be the boss. He was the boss, but he wasn't. It was a weird juxtaposition on that. We had to go to the corporate side to get everything done and then get the yes from him.
Well, this is his excuse now.
Okay.
For the reason why things went down the way they went down. And this is hilarious. I love what he says here because he can't help it. He knows what the truth is.
Right.
And so it does sneak out from time to time.
And man, I wasn't good at being a boss, instead of like maybe sitting some of these guys down and going, man, you suck at this. Let's try to figure this out. I would scream at them. Yeah, that's true. I take responsibility for that. I didn't know how to be the boss. I never wanted to be the goddamn boss.
No, he didn't. And people do that to him regularly, trying to say, you suck at this. We're trying to help you. Let's talk this out. And you won't talk to anybody.
You didn't know that screaming at people isn't the right way to behave in the workplace? I love that thing where it's just like, no one ever told me how to be a boss, so I just scream at people rather than have civilized conversations with them. Oh, okay. Well, that's everyone else's fault then, Opie. Got it.
No, we brought it up in times where he didn't want to come into the office to talk to the staff. When he was doing the solo show, he would sit in the corner of a building, of the floor of the building there, away from the studios, with a newspaper in his chair and wouldn't talk to anybody until the show started. And that was his way of, he didn't want to be the boss, but when your name's on the show and you're in charge of everything, you have to talk to the staff at least. And that's where it devolved to. Like, I have that photo of him sitting there in the corner, reading a newspaper with his feet up on the air vent at the corner of SiriusXM. That's where he was every morning. And people would walk by going to the other studios like, why is this guy just sitting there reading the newspaper in the corner? Because he wouldn't talk to anybody.
Oh,
so how do you help somebody that won't talk to you? Yeah.
Oh, he's just running the show. That's all.
It's this or it's the Full Metal Jacket drill sergeant waiting for their private pile employees to turn on them. You get all or nothing from Opie.
Right. So anyway, I appreciate you coming on here to address this because Erik, it's so funny to watch him get triggered, whether you bring up Jim's name or Sam's name or your name. He just loses his mind every time. It's great.
If he did any kind of homework for his show, anything, just a small amount, to see that the only one who ever really says anything about him, and that's only been because of lately, is Anthony. And when you watch Anthony's stuff, it's not viciously attacking Opie. It's in the spirit of what we've all done. It's mocking, it's goofing. Anthony's been giving legitimate advice in a humorous way he won't listen to. Norton never acknowledges Opie ever. Neither does Sam. Sam's moved on and done other things. Even the stuff that I've said about him, none of it's attacking him. It's just talking about everything he's did and why he doesn't listen to people and why that causes his own problems.
And I'll be honest,
all he has to do.
Erik, you never bring it up. You get asked questions and you're reluctant, even our text conversation going back and forth, to have you come on here.
Yeah,
you're
always and I'm like, I don't know what this is. And you're like, come on this show. And I go, fine, I'll be there Wednesday. That's fine.
I literally stopped asking that. I just got a text like, all right, I'll come on. So yeah, no, you guys, you, Jim, Sam, none of you guys are talking about Opie at all. And I think that drives him even crazier than when Anthony actually addresses him, because he likes responding to that. He can't stand it that Sam never brings him up. Jim never brings him up. It drives him mental.
Yeah, and I don't know if he's even talked about Sam lately, but we all know what Sam's doing now. He's got the solo show with Sirius after Jim left. I don't know how it still can be Sam's problem or Sam's the cause of Opie's downfall with the company, that Sam's still there doing all this stuff. It's like, how is it Sam's? Oh, well, because Norton's not there anymore. Now it's 100% Sam's fault. It doesn't
keeps
work
changing.
like
History
that.
keeps changing. It's amazing how that works.
Yeah, it doesn't work that way. And I've said this too, and we'll end this. If he did reach out, I'd be like, we have to talk because you've been a lunatic and an asshole for the last several years.
Yeah. He doesn't want to face that.
No, I've gotten messages from people, and I don't know if this is people stirring the shit, but I've addressed it where he's like, he's pissed. He thinks you stole everything from him. It's like,
right.
I've given him since 2009. I've given him tons of opportunities on how to buy the rights to their library, how to get ownership of everything, how to I even give him a hard drive of that stuff. He wouldn't take it. Then in the last couple of years, now he thinks that he's owed this because that was my job to archive a lot of this stuff. Right. And I've offered it to Jim. I've offered it to Anthony, and they were like, you're good. You take care of it. If we need it, we'll ask you for it. And they always have. If they needed photos, they needed clips, whatever, I gave them whatever. Now with him, he wants everything, and I won't give it to him because you're not being a human being. Talk to people. If you want to talk, we'll talk this out, and then we'll work something there. But other than that, it will sit there in those airtight bins and those hard drives locked up before I throw them into a bonfire when I'm done dealing with all of
It's
this.
not stopping him from putting out full episodes and long clips of Opie and Anthony on his channel.
No, he just
As
pulls
if he
them off
owns
of
it.
listener
Yeah.
recordings for YouTube. So
Yeah.
you want everything, but you're doing it already. So what do you need me for? You don't.
Well, Erik, is it true that you are somehow still employed by a radio group?
Yes.
That's amazing. Congratulations on that.
Yeah, nowhere to
It's-
the extent we used to be, but yes,
Yeah,
I
well-
still have ties with a company that people would see that on a resume, or if you showed up at a media event and went, oh, you work for them. Yes, that is the case.
It's hanging up in the bathroom of a Cracker Barrel.
It's Erik Nagel. It's eriknagel.com.
Yes.
Erik with a K.
Oh, also, if you could, because I know you were nice enough to retweet this on my Twitter, at it's Erik Nagel, all one word. I have a link there. I found out by accident the other day that it's bought and paid for, that organization, but the Radio Hall of Fame opened it up to the public to nominate for people for the next ceremony's candidates, right? So I went, I filled out everything. I'm like, oh my God, you can. So the link is on my Twitter there. I've been telling people, go and write in Anthony, Opie, and Jimmy. Write them in there to get them nominated, because if we can get enough, they have to respond to the things. So yeah, please go to Twitter, find the link. It's Erik Nagel on Twitter there. The link, fill it out, and let's nominate and get Opie and Anthony and Jim Norton into the Radio Hall of Fame.
That'd be awesome. All right.
And then I love
Erik.
the responses. What about Scorch? What about Stuttering John? Look,
Yes.
if you could get either one of them in there, even better. But
We
let's
got to
be
get Scorch
realistic.
in there.
Yeah.
Scorch is fascinating lately. All right, Erik, I
Thank you,
appreciate you coming
guys.
on, buddy.
Thank you for letting me ruin your show. Talk to
Yeah,
you
man.
later.
Thanks for responding to the Opster
Okay.
with us.
Bye,
Later,
guys.
buddy. See you. The great Erik Nagel, everyone. Thank you all for hanging out, watching the show live with us. We have people supporting the show, which we appreciate. I can't remember if I had this one up here yet or not. Wait, what?
Yes.
From Big Daddy Dodo. Sean, the producer, $5. Something that nobody else is addicted to. How about Opie shows? Did I say that one?
Good stuff. Yes.
Okay. JFK Headchunk, $2 says her videos are better than his podcast, Faildozer.
Another good one.
And then AI Taylor, $10 says, ask Erock if Opie really talked like that in real life. He didn't. No, nobody talks like that in real life. I think I talked about this, but I was messaging with Anthony about Tukey doing the Opie impression.
Yeah.
And it's hilarious because it's Tukey doing the impression. So Rocco's got to do a puppet doing Opie. And Ant was just like, I love that impression. It's so funny. I think the Opie impression is getting easier for everyone because it's just a retard voice. Everyone can do like a retard voice, which is basically what Opie sounds like now. Scalzo Photo, $10. There's another thing Opie has in common with StutJo is time is no time no longer exists. Erock is no longer an experienced producer, but instead a nobody Opie met at Cracker Barrel. That's a good point. Opie's painting this picture of this desperate loser that had nothing going on, that he needed to help, and he'd still be that guy.
Flagging him down on the highway.
You're right. That was kind of like what he was saying. And he'd still be that guy today if not for Opie fixing him.
Yeah. And he forced him to pick a place, and then he's clowning him for
Right.
picking a bad plate.
Yes.
What an asshole.
He really is the worst.
And 20 years later.
He's the pits.
Yeah, he doesn't even work for him anymore, but he still owes him everything.
It doesn't make any sense.
No.
The one pun, been a member for 1 month. Then there was the one set of footprints in the sand, where once there were 3, because that is where Anthony and Jimmy stopped carrying him. That old gag. John Ochiltree. Erock, please send cease and desist notices to Opie every time he re-uploads O&A clips. I think he's going to leave him alone. If you want to support the show, of course, you can super chat here. You can become a member. You can gift memberships. We also have supertip.gg/WATP, and we do appreciate those donations and that participation in the show. Guys, did you know Stuttering John just had his last episode ever?
Bloody ass. Can I get a little sympathy? Because I got a bloody ass. I'm bleeding generously. Because I got a bloody ass.
That's right. Stuttering John had his final broadcast. It's no longer the Stuttering John podcast. It's the John Melendez show. It's classy. It's different. It's better than it ever has been. And I have never done a final show for any of my podcasts that I can remember. I think they're all still going.
The Peapod?
Okay, a Peapod. Yeah, that one I did. Good point. So I don't know what I would do for a final episode, but I know I'd bring a little bit more energy than this.
Hey, everybody. How are you? Well, it's my last show. That's about it. Gonna have some guests on today.
Wow.
That's the stuff.
Wow, what a run it's been, huh? Well, guys, it's the last WTP. I don't know what else to tell you. Guess we'll play some clips or something.
Isn't this like his third farewell show?
At least.
Yeah, I mean, he makes up these weird rules where he goes, all right, I'm all done December 31st. And then he comes back on because he had the Kate Meany thing. I can't remember what that was. It was such a nothing. Him and Rob Saul tried to play these what was it? Kate Meany was talking to someone. I don't remember. Anyway, there's some recordings. And then John had to do his show because Rob Saul got too wasted and nodded off during his show. So John had to do it. But then for whatever reason, John announced he's doing one more regular episode with a special guest on March 1st. And he's doing 2 political shows. And then that's it. And so he did the Richard Roper one before the Academy Awards. And then he did a political show with Richard and Brian. And then he did this show. Richard couldn't make it, but Brian was there and Ava came on. And he's like, all right, that's it. It's like,
finish strong.
Yeah, like what was the point of any of this? Like, why? The political show was supposed to be so that Trump never didn't get reelected. That was why he started doing it.
Mission accomplished.
Now I don't know what the point of it is at all. Although Anthony has his theories that we'll get into in just a minute. But first, let's count the lies. All right, everyone count to themselves the lies in this.
Had a wonderful day yesterday. I took the boat out for a little while, cruising, then took the motorcycles out to Boquila and looked at the clear blue, beautiful water. And then I met a female friend of mine, if you will, and we had a nice time. And it was the perfect day, actually. It was the perfect day. And
Opie was saying the lip smacking might be a lie towel.
Yeah.
Because it's just like, and then it's like he's making up in real time. And then I met up with a female friend, if you will. What?
And this is all why I had to do the show today.
He had a perfect day. He was out on the boat. We know he doesn't own a boat. He came out and said he doesn't own a boat. We know that.
Then he said he drove multiple motorcycles.
Then he went on
the boat.
motorcycle. Yes. He rode around on the boat just to come back, get his motorcycle, and drive back to the water and look at it. You've already looked
Still
at the water.
beautiful. Yeah.
You already looked at the water. You're on a boat.
I got to see this water from the other direction.
Then he spent time with a lady friend. Doing what? What do you mean?
A so-called lady friend.
I'm guessing she's the bartender at Stevie Tomatoes.
If you want to know the truth.
Yeah, right. It's one of those kind of things. So I don't believe any of that. Then John's talking about the movies that were up for Best Picture, the Academy Awards.
And I saw 7 of the 10 nominated films because I am a film dude. And I enjoyed just about every one.
Remember, if there's one takeaway about Stuttering John, he is a film dude.
Yeah.
You can't forget that. He went to school for film. He thinks Citizen Kane sucks. But he liked all of the movies that were nominated.
He jacked off to Amelia Perez
For Best
multiple
Picture,
times.
yes,
Yeah.
for sure. This is a fun clip I put together because, he's got that scroll going on the bottom that says, I will not be reading any super chats related to the Dabbleverse.
Well, he didn't put it there.
Management put it there. Correct. Yeah. So, he's got a big team over there at the John Melendez show. So a super chat comes up from Tony and John goes, I'm not reading that shit. Or is he?
Again, I'm not reading any Dabbleverse related super chat, Tony. So I'm not going to put that up, but that's bullshit.
A few moments later.
All righty. Thank you, Clay. You've been another loyal friend of mine, and I appreciate it. Tony, ever ready? Yeah, that's bullshit. That's called a deflection. That's just a distraction, a deflection.
He totally forgot that's the exact super chat he said he wasn't going to read. And then he popped it up on the screen. And it's about him knowing about ESO. Because John claims that he has a mole inside Uncle Rico's show, the Shuley Network. And people are speculating that it was ESO that was the mole. And so John knew about the arrest before anyone else knew about the arrest. And he was the one keeping it under wraps. And he didn't want that super chat coming up on the screen. But he's an idiot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he couldn't stop himself from putting it up there. And actually, this drop right here, I might want to make a note of this one. This one can be used quite often.
I don't know what's real and what's not real.
Correct. That is the problem for sure.
So that excuses me from everything.
Yes, exactly. So John starts off this episode. He's waiting for Avariza there, and he doesn't know what to do. It's his final show. He doesn't know what to talk about. So he goes through his Twitter DMs and starts reading every name of people that he DM'd to be on the show. That's his list of past guests. And this goes on for quite some time. And finally, John, 22 minutes in, decides, where's my phone?
Okay, I can't keep doing it. And all right, let me just get my phone, and then we'll get the show on the road.
All right, so I sped this up.
My phone.
This is 6x speed. This is how long he's gone for looking for his phone. With nothing else going on.
All right. All righty.
God.
So now let me bring on. Whoa, there goes my guitar, and there goes my. Well, you wouldn't have a great Stuttering John show without shit falling all over the place. So here we go.
Shatter's phone.
I thought it was the John Melendez show, not the Stuttering John. I guess a little throwback for all the OGs who are watching the show. That's not the only thing that goes wrong on this episode. Also, Brian Karam, his guest, comes on and doesn't know that he's on the show.
So here is the great Brian Karam. Hey, Brian. Brian.
Yell louder,
this
John.
Is going well.
Yell more.
Brian.
He'll hear you eventually. Yell more.
Brian.
Yes. Question for
Wave.
him.
He's definitely looking at you, John. Wave some more, you idiot.
Brian.
The fuck is he doing?
Brian. He can't hear me.
No.
Lewis, 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 Mom.
I just love the fact that John thinks if he's jumping up and down and waving his arms, then Brian's going to see him. It's just like, no, he's obviously not looking at that screen. He wouldn't know.
Oh, John.
I've been away. She's like, yeah, I see you, John. What's up, man? What do you want?
What the fuck?
So John is very good with tech problems, as you know, and he's going to help Brian through this.
All right, do you hear me now? I can't hear you. Can't hear you. I can't hear you, Brian. Can't hear you. Hey, you get it sorted out. I'm gonna go put the AC on.
It's your show.
You sort it out.
You sort it out. I'm gonna turn the AC on. He just gets up and leaves. He's always got shit to do. It's one episode, the last episode ever.
You wouldn't want it any other way, though, right? This is
great.
the perfect ending.
I love it. So he comes back and he's gonna help Brian fix this all up.
Brian, you hear me? I can't hear you. Go back out and come back in. Go out and come back in. Abe, I'm sorry. I'm running late. It's my last show. So I will get to it. Ava, I'm sorry. But if you want to come back after, I just want to talk to Brian and then I'll bring you back, okay?
A few moments later.
Brian, my man. Still can't hear you. What the fuck? You chose to mute yourself. You got to unmute yourself, Brian.
Yell at him, John. He can't hear you. Yell louder.
Siri, call Brian Karam. This is wonderful. Oh, this has to be the best last show ever.
It's up there. It's certainly up there. It's better than the Seinfeld.
Yeah.
Oh, there'll be better last shows.
It's hilarious to me. So whatever Brian is talking into is not engaged in the software or on his computer. And John's solution is, well, just leave and come back and maybe it'll fix itself. Why? Why would that fix anything? That's his tech solution. And of course that didn't work. So then Brian Karam talks a bunch of nonsense and he has his trans woman guest, Ava, who's been on the show before. And John does this to show what an amazing liberal he is to be speaking with someone from the LGBTQ community. And of course, he immediately needs to get Ava on his side and how horrible people have been to him.
Like I just had people showing up at my door. Oh, I meant to send you the anti-trans stuff that someone posted on my door. I'm not going to mention the name, Baby Fat. So anyway, it was an anti-trans and I don't know. I'm sure you experience this on a daily basis, but I do as well. The anti-trans stuff I get is just disturbing and pathetic and hateful and usually from anonymous people and people who post it on my door and run away like the child that they are.
What he's referring to, of course, is Chad Zumock leaving a note talking about the fact that John's son has a pussy, which is true. I don't know if you can call that anti-trans. I think it's just a factual statement that when John calls everyone a pussy boy, he's actually referring to his oldest.
If anything, it's pro-pussy.
Right. If anything. I love that John's just like, yeah, you get anti-trans stuff, Ava. I mean, I get it in spades. You can't even believe. She's like, yeah, but yeah, okay. I guess you're a victim. So he has to find other ways to be a victim. I'd never heard of this one before.
I'm Puerto Rican. We've gotten plenty of hate. We've got plenty. Oh, I was called spick plenty of times in high school, and I was called wetback, although they didn't understand that was a different term for a different group of people. But I mean,
what group of people?
The wetbacks.
Those gross wetbacks that are everywhere. So John is just always a victim, and when he has someone on, that he can like be like, by the way, I don't know, I'm sure you've had it tough, but I was called Spick. What?
Before we get into your plights,
right. I mean, this is a man who was almost 60 talking about how he was called Spick in high school. Who gives a shit? I'm sure that was his friends because no one sees him as a Puerto Rican guy.
I think he's mispronouncing Skip.
Right.
We know he was called
we
that.
know you were called names because of your stutter. You idiot.
It was also dyslexic.
In high school, people used to say that I lived in the basement of Taco Bell. And I said, I'm Puerto Rican, not Mexican, you dumb fuck.
No, I think they meant you smell like a fart. That's actually a pretty funny joke.
Oh, okay, well.
Then that makes sense then. I didn't realize. No one thinks Taco Bell is Mexican.
Or has a basement.
Right. None of that makes any sense. Okay. So Abba is answering a question that John asked about being misgendered. And of course, John has to interrupt Abba to talk about this racist chat that just came in.
I don't care if they misgender me, and it'll come in time by being around me. And I think that there's this organic thing that happens because it takes
hold on.
time for people to get used to that.
Abba, racist alert, racist alert. Tsunami Webster, Denmark are happy because all white, no illegals. Oh, there you go.
I'm Pakistani, and the second most, 13% of people from Denmark are Pakistani as well, which was kind of trippy for me. But I'm sorry about your...
First of all, they're not all white in Denmark.
So John was saying earlier how Denmark is like the happiest people. So he has to cut off Avo to read it's because they're all white. They're not, 13% are not Pakistani. That's also not true, but okay. Whatever. So I'm glad that John cut her off in order to say that. And this clip is perfect because John's trying to say something he can't say, which is probably a bad idea for a mush brain, wet brain stutterer to do.
What's the saying? Po nobody's nerfect.
Yeah.
Oh, Po nobody's nerfect. What's the saying? It's not that.
No. Neither of those things.
Po nobody. What's that thing that people say when they're saying stuff wrong? I mean, that is wrong. I'll give you that.
That's why pencils have erasers.
Po pencils. All right. We have to address what John tried to do to Anthony Cumia. Anthony brought this up on his show.
So John was, he's angry at that. So of course he's got to shit on me and what I'm doing and take to social media and try to get me thrown off by putting the names and links and contacts to my bosses and my company and everything, telling what an awful person I am. Yeah, John did this. John did that.
What a piece of shit. He'll never learn. He's still trying to get other grown adults in trouble and get their jobs taken away from them. If he had been successful at this, if he had gotten Anthony fired, what would that have done for John? Would his podcast suddenly take off, or he would get hired by WABC to do a show on there, a political show? What is he thinking with this shit?
I often think of the bucket of crabs, but there's another analogy, and that's like being in a lifeboat with John. He would sink it.
Yes.
It's like, you guys might survive, but you know what? I got cirrhosis, so fuck all of us.
Yep. It's just like, now your career is as good as mine.
Yeah.
Because it's going nowhere.
And Anthony's taking this in stride, but I'd be livid. I mean, I was pretty upset when John tried to take down my Patreon. People remember my reaction to that. I wasn't thrilled about it. Anthony obviously knows that John's not going to get him fired.
Thank God my bosses don't give a flying fuck, especially for the likes of Stuttering John Melendez's opinion on my show. So he's just, what a fucking asshole. To do that, to really try to get me fired. You know, we've called him asshole. We've talked about his dabbling in stand-up comedy and his lack of ability to write anything funny. His digital panhandling, where he'll go on and all he cares about is super chats. And then when he doesn't get something and someone else does, his initial response is, well, let me try to fuck him over out of his job, which he did.
So I'm sure John can justify this somehow with his mental gymnastics in his mind. But isn't that like John's biggest thing is like, don't get people's gigs canceled? Isn't that what he has had meltdown after meltdown about with his whole stand-up career coming to an end because people are getting his gigs canceled? And
Well, they did it to me, so it's all right if I do it to them.
Anthony never got John's gigs canceled. I've never gotten John's gigs canceled. We preach just the opposite as Anthony does here.
Do we try to get his gigs canceled? Of course not. Why would we want to ruin future material for us and Uncle Rico and who are these podcasts? Why would we want to say, hey, let's get his gig canceled? We want that gig to happen.
Correct.
We want to be able to listen to how unbelievably untalented this piece of shit is going up on a stand-up comedy stage and doing jokes that are literally 30 years old.
Correct.
March 28th, 29th in Niles, Ohio.
Yes, we're actually having a lot of fun with that. And so John is just a literal piece of garbage. He's a garbage human trying to get...
Trying to call Anthony's boss's dad.
I know, that's going to be the next thing. Do you know who your son just hired to work for him?
Why are you calling me?
it's so shameful. You should be embarrassed. I got Tom Myers stuff coming up in just a moment. But first, I want to thank people for supporting the show, like Joe Dicker with $2. So Opie meets young men at rest stops. That was my takeaway from that story as well. Yes, that's what I heard. Diablo Sandwich, $2. Hey, look, it's Dildo and Gollum. Wait, which one's Gollum?
I'll take Dildo.
Daniel Poinsett says, bring back the old Stuttering John opening theme. I would, but unfortunately, YouTube demonetizes that on me. YouTube is not a fan of tequila.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, I play it on the Saturday shows when we're unlisted behind the paywall, but I don't play it on the Wednesday shows. Those jerks want to keep their intellectual property for themselves. Share, you assholes. Speaking of jerks, look at who's here. Cardiff Electric. What's up, Cardiff?
Knew it. You
How's it going,
You
buddy?
didn't fool me this time, Hamburger.
I don't try to fool you.
Hello, Chris. Hello, Joe.
Oh, hello.
Oh, hello.
Joe. you are here just in time, my friend.
You know, it's no different than, a police officer running to the scene of a crime or a firefighter running into a burning building. It's what I do.
Have you been following Tom Myers' new Monday, Wednesday, Friday streams that he's doing?
Fantastic, Carl.
Oh, it's great stuff. It's great stuff. I love it. He's doing this thing now where he's making a lot of mouth noises. I don't know why all these assholes want to do this to us, but listen to this.
Yeah, Jake Hudson's been promoting the hell out of my stream this morning. I don't know why. Don't really have that much planned. I sent a link to someone, but if they don't come on, it's no biggie.
Spoiler, they don't come on. I like that he goes, Jake Hudson's promoting this show for some reason. Well, A, Jake Hudson's retarded, but B, it's like, he doesn't know that you have nothing planned. Have something planned then. It's like, jeez, I don't know why he's promoting this thing. I'm not even going to do anything. Well, you're the one live on the internet, idiot.
No, joke's on Jake.
Okay, if you say so.
Send a link to Jake. He'll come on.
What was with all of that lip smacking?
Oh, God.
It sounded like I was in his mouth when he was drinking his tea just now.
He's probably 2 episodes away
You
from...
just made it grosser.
Yeah.
It's so gross. People, stop doing that. Mouth noises are not attractive.
He's going to start mukbanging any second.
That might actually be a good move for him.
Yeah.
I can picture the costume, too. The costume he's going to wear mukbanging. Clown.
Mukbang the clown.
That's his new character.
He has to dress up as Trisha Paytus.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of clowns have to put on that wig that makes it look like they're bald on the top and the hair is coming out on the sides. Not Tom.
He's halfway there.
He's got that taken care of. He really could be like Stuttering John's character in One Too Many. Just being a clown at birthday parties. I could see that for him in the future. Well, remember, guys, his show was all about monetization.
If you haven't already, go ahead and tell other people to subscribe. I'm trying to get my watch hours up so I can go ahead and get my monetization. In the meantime, feel free to go ahead and support the show. There's my Venmo handle. There's my PayPal info. I've got my little scroll here of everybody who's contributed, or some of my bigger contributors, minus all the ones who want to remain anonymous. I'm probably going to do this on my laptop.
So this is hilarious. He goes, I got the scroll, all people who contributed to the show, minus all those people who wanted to be anonymous, of course. So the contributors are Mint Diggity, and then
from now on, even though the sound's not great,
Port Film Co-op. The same two contributors I saw 2 weeks ago when I checked it on this stream. No one else has contributed to him, and he's still writing this. It's a very much a Chad Zumach mood. Be like, oh, here's all my $100 contributors, and then we find out they haven't paid him in years.
Yeah, but let me guess. He does stand up at the Port Film Co-op once a week.
Right. It probably has some kind of connection there.
All my best supporters are anonymous. So,
yeah. So he's trying to get monetized, but his channel's not monetized. So he has to give out his PayPal and his Venmo and try to encourage people. This goes on and on throughout the show.
Patrick Michael model of
Yeah,
getting watch
because there's
hours.
literally 11 people watching.
Yeah.
I tuned in this morning. I was one of the 11 people watching the show.
Just
So he's
turn on the
literally
camera.
writing. He's running Chad's script. Like this is exactly Chad Zumach's script.
He's up to 85 views after 11 hours on this thing. It's like, dude, don't worry about monetization yet. You need to have an audience first before you start making money. But you're right. He watches Chad.
Yeah.
He knows Chad's stuff. And so now we're going to watch a man calculate his watch hours in real time, because this is really riveting stuff for the audience. They all want to know all about your watch hours on YouTube.
For a while. So let me see if I can. So the number of watch hours that I need is 3,000 in order to get monetization to do super chats and the like. So
Carry the one.
Yeah.
if let's see.
This is good stuff, Tom. Can you do the accounting on your time next time?
So if I take how many hours I have now, or how many hours I had before I started streaming,
Okay.
and I go ahead and like at the rate I'm going, and this is if I pick up no momentum at all,
That's
but at the
likely.
rate
It's a
I'm
good
going,
plan,
I
yeah.
will I'm hoping I can get my monetization. Like I'd love to have it by the end of the year. If I don't get it by the end of the year, then maybe streaming's not for me.
It's suicide again.
By the end of the year, it's March. I was expecting you to say by the end of this month or next month or
I'm gonna give
something.
this 9 more months.
Yeah.
9 more months.
Because I aim high. I'm Tom Myers.
By this time in 2026, I'll be making $18 an hour.
Right. He's saying by the end of the year, hoping he can get to a place where someone can give him $2.
Yeah.
In your face, podcast Karen.
And he can read that.
Hey, I'm monetized and people aren't giving me money. Congratulations.
So he needs 3,000 watch hours. Just to put this in perspective, I went and looked at our channel when I was watching this. I'm like, how many watch hours do we get? So in the last 28 days, we've had 210,000 watch hours. And this guy can't get to 3,000 by the end of the fucking year. It's because you're putting on terrible content. It's because you're
got
not
me
good
beat.
at this.
It's because I don't have watch hours.
Settle down over there, Carl. We all have shitty shows over here.
And you must have more watch hours than this guy.
Slow down.
So Tom's very proud of himself for super chatting Steel Toe on Monday. He gave Steel Toe $5, and Steel Toe read it. Oh boy, watch out.
Yeah, but like I said, Monday, if you were here, we had a little bit of fun on Monday. We enjoyed ourselves. I decided to make a little bit of waves.
What?
$5. Very well spent.
And I'll make that back next year when I monetize.
That's how YouTube works.
In case you
get the
missed
super
it,
chat
here we
on
go.
credit?
I decided to send the super chat to StutJo's just to troll him.
Bullshit. This thing's awesome.
So Tom is a troll now. Watch out, all you streamers. Tom might show up and give you $5. And wait till you hear what he wrote.
I was going to say, what does the chat
Aaron
say?
Imholt.
Here's $5.
This is gonna be rough, and he's gonna analyze it for us.
We're gonna have a great time.
Thank you for the $5, buddy. Appreciate it. Did the $5 from Tom Myers? Oh, is this that guy who has like 5 viewers and is trying to grift off Steel Toe too?
Can you pause? I'm sorry, Carl, but he's literally doing Chad's move.
Yes, he's all proud of himself. He's like, he's talking about me right now. Can you believe that? And this is a little bit ironic because Aaron's talking about someone grifting, but I'll give Aaron this. All right. And I can't believe Tom's forcing me to say nice things about Aaron Imholt right now, but he is. Aaron does prep a show. You heard the clip where he goes out and he goes, I sent someone a link, but I don't know if they're going to show up, and I don't really have anything prepared for this. Anyway, here's my Venmo. Here's my PayPal. Trying to get my watch hours up. And it's like, you can't make money off of 5 people watching you. And I think that's the point that Aaron is making here. But look at how proud of himself Tom is.
God damn, I'm the man.
Yeah. I'm trying to grift. You're trying to grift, Aaron. That is all we are trying to do. Think we stream because we enjoy this? No, it's work.
I enjoy this.
It's work. We all want to make a little money doing this. I love how Aaron accuses me of grifting when he does like his entire stream is just a begathon. I mean, look, don't get me wrong. Like
also beg.
I mean,
I was getting him wrong for a second there.
But
yeah, don't get me wrong. I've been talking nothing about my monetization. I've been doing calculations for watch hours for the first half of my show. But isn't Aaron an idiot? Like, wait, what? What are you making fun of Aaron for? Asking for money? The fuck?
I'm just kind of starting out streaming and trying to find my way. So, but yeah, it's weird. Aaron accusing me of doing the grift.
Says Aaron, do you know that the eyes and face are 2 different things, right? Did Nick's man juice affect your already fucked up brain?
So that was his big troll.
Oh,
you know that the eyes and face are 2 different things. Did Nick's man juice something about his already fucked up brain? Let me play that again.
Did Nick's man juice affect your already fucked up brain?
So that was his big gotcha. He's all proud of it. He's playing it on his show on Wednesday to show you, hey, look what I did. I got over on Steel Toe.
What does that mean?
I have no idea.
Still too many words for a joke.
I have no idea.
And I speak Tom. But
yeah, right?
I have no idea.
You do. Well, he's going to break this down in only the way that Tom can analyze something like this.
Tom, I'm going to tell you now.
If you want to, let's watch the moment where he's been triggered again.
Man juice affect your already fucked up brain.
Oh, see, notice that little something switched inside his head that said, oh, fuck, I'm being trolled.
Yeah, notice how something happened inside his head, Carl?
Yeah. Tom has watched other people do this. He probably watches Chad do it, who watches Melton do it. And he thinks like, oh, what you do is you say that something's happening and then you freeze frame it and zoom in on his face. Like, yeah, but Aaron makes faces all the time. We show them on this little piggy. Mm-hmm. This time he's not. This time nothing's happened. He's not being triggered. He's not surprised by Tom putting in a shitty comment.
That's the face of somebody wondering, what the fuck does that mean?
Yeah. He's just like, oh, okay. Tom Myers is going to try to clown me. Good luck with that, Tommy. It does pause this going, oh my gosh, can you see that right there? He's getting triggered. Is he?
And is I don't know if it's his past coming back to haunt him, but all that little all the Steel Toe lore catching up to him.
Brilliant analysis.
Also, mornings are not for Tom.
No.
Wake up before you do a show.
No energy whatsoever.
Actually, do a show before you.
That's the thing. People don't know that I don't pay attention to this shit, but I do keep tabs on stuff more than people think I do.
What the fuck?
I just don't say anything smart.
What did that mean? I gotta play that again. What does this mean? Let's listen to this closely.
That's the thing. People don't know that I don't pay attention to this shit.
People don't know that I don't pay attention to this shit.
Please go on.
But, I do keep tabs on stuff more than people think I do.
What?
Well, you fooled us again.
Tom needs a cup of coffee transplant.
Right.
I don't know what I'm talking about, but I pay attention more.
He's so happy about this. He goes, "Oh, let's pull up Steel Toe," and he read my super chat from Monday, and he's got nothing.
Yeah, and you're out $5.
Yeah. It's like, you created this and you've got nothing. Here's another Tommy comeback, and only the way that Tom can have a comeback.
So, yeah, you're good.
And I'll be honest, you're a little bit of a creep.
Oh, look who's fucking talking. Look who is talking. Look who's talking.
It's just...
Look who's talking 3.
I'm rubber.
Yeah.
You're glue.
Yeah, literally, look who's talking. He said it 3 times in a row. And again, if you want to get good at this, stop watching Chad.
Mm-hmm.
Chad is terrible at this. He doesn't even try to be funny, much like Tom.
It's my initial impression. That's all. I've never seen any of your work. I'm just saying, you and I have never interacted before.
Oh, we're going to interact.
Oh,
we are going to interact.
Just wait. Wait for it.
We've only just begun.
Ooh, Tom smelling that blood in the water. He's like, "Oh, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to start clowning Steel Toe. That's how I'm going to get the watch hours up." Which is not a hard thing to do, clowning Steel Toe, but Tom makes it look impossible.
He makes everything look
He
impossible.
really does. He's so bad at this. You ready for a hilarious joke here?
Yeah.
Damn, man. It's like, I don't even, usually you have to seek people out to like own their time and own their attention. All I got to do is show up, hit go live, do my show.
They come to you.
And they come to, why do they come to me to die?
Don't say come to me. Don't say come to you.
Why is that, Tom? Let's find out.
Aaron. That play on words. There's so many jokes that can be made here, but
I can't make
I have
one.
a free account, and StreamYard limits the amount of hours that I can stream.
All right, well, just do 2
So
then.
we'll just bypass that for now.
No. Let's give 1 or 2 examples of jokes that you come up with for that. I hate that. Oh my gosh, there's so many jokes. It's too many.
I just roasted you in my mind.
Yeah.
You would run out of time on the free plan. You can't.
Yes. It's too much. Too much hilarity. Tell 1. Tom, you're killing time anyway. That's all this is. He goes over and snipes Tom Collins for a while and just watches his show. Doesn't have anything. He's like, all right, I guess they're just talking about current events.
Whatever those are.
Yeah, he has no idea what he's doing. Question about me comes up.
No, I would not consider covering WATP because they do not want me on their show. So they don't want me on their show. Actually, I can.
You're on our show now.
Speaking of,
here you are.
It's kind of weird.
Speaking of Blind Mike,
I don't think Aaron wants you on his show either.
he does tie into this a little bit. Blind Mike tried to get me to go on WATP, as you can see if you go back and watch that interview.
Yeah.
Are you watching it right now?
Probably.
Come on, Tom. You can do it.
We'll go to this video right here. Well, and of course, old podcast Karen was a little peeved that Mike and I got along.
Oh, was I?
That Mike and I got along well on
don't
his.
remember?
No, let's
those
see
were
it.
dark
On
days
his
around the
interview.
office.
Those are dark days at WATP headquarters. I was screaming at everyone like Opie. That's another thing we should bring up is that for some reason my booking agent Mike Geary was like, "Would you go on Who Are These Podcasts?" He's not invited to come on Who Are These Podcasts. Well, I was upset. Now I'm seeing it. didn't realize how fired up I actually was, but good call, Tom.
Tom almost was on here ruining this show.
So, Tom, because he's not allowed on WATP, I've never invited him. He explains that's why I've been kicked out of his chat.
Oh, like he doesn't want me on his show, so yeah, that's why I kicked him from my chat as well. I'm like, if you want to go ahead and troll and do all that nonsense, then he is lame. I agree.
Indignity. He is lame, yeah. The guy is lame. He's not even allowed in my chat because I'm not allowed on this show. No, I think it's actually just because when you see me in there, it freaks you out and you get flustered and you do even worse than you're doing now. Tom does not know what grift means. These people, they're all fucking using this word incorrectly.
Party sounds like she's getting a second felony charge. Let's take a listen.
Last year, where an anti-gun Democratic lawmaker broke into her stepmother's house, attempted to steal some stuff, got caught, and then tried to say that she had gone there at 4 a.m. and broken into the house and then hid in the basement while dressed in solid black because she was concerned about her stepmother's dementia. There was
well, that makes sense. Yeah. I mean, I always dress in robber clothes and break it.
All right.
So he's literally watching Steel Toe in the part that no one watches Steel Toe, where Aaron's actually watching and reacting to a video and analyzing it and breaking it down or whatever. And Tom's going, grift, 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 grift. He's not begging for money at this portion. You picked the wrong part. And then he's got nothing to say. So he just goes, all right. And just turns it off. But this, guys, this clip right here is my favorite clip. We learned something about Tom's hairline that I did not know previously.
I don't know. I like to say my hairline. My hairline's probably a little better. What you can't see is because my hair is so light. I actually have it's not quite as thick as I'd like to have it up here, but
So guys, it's not that his hairline is atrocious, that our vision isn't good enough to see that it's actually right where it's supposed to be.
Once I'm monetized and I get a 4K camera, you're going to see all the hair up here.
See how much hair I have. He's touching his bald head and going, yeah, it's really hairy right here.
I assure you there's hair.
That's insane.
Yeah, isn't that funny? Tom is one of these delusional retards that we like to poke fun at on the internet. And my boy Cardiff puts together games. Annie is here.
Stacking the deck.
Oh, hello.
What's up, Annie?
Hello.
How's it going?
Good to see you all this week.
Good to see you as well. Are you ready to play 2 minutes with Tom?
I'm ready to lose.
All right. That's the spirit.
All right.
Let's go.
It's time for everyone's favorite new game show. 2 minutes with Tom. Are you ready to find the bomb? Playing 2 minutes with Tom.
I'm due.
Oh, hi, Adam Bush. How you doing? Oops. Shut up.
Whoops.
Quit interrupting.
Communications been bad.
I drove through Alabama not too long ago. I passed this sign, "Welcome to the birthplace of Helen Keller." When you know it, there was nothing to see down there. I did a show in Kansas recently. I went into this venue in Kansas right over the bar and had this bumper sticker: "Ted Kennedy's car has killed more people than my gun." Whoa. Very intense. I want to come up with a bumper sticker in response to that says,
What did Tom say next? Here are your choices. Number 1, Donald Trump's Twitter account has leaked more top secret info than Hillary Clinton's email server. Lock him up. B, West Virginia governor and coal mine owner Jim Justice has fucked more minors than Jerry Sandusky. Next, more Republicans are willing to forgive Trump for rape than student loans. I guess that's because more Republicans are friends with rapists than college graduates. Or,
yeah, right.
more young women have been shot in the face by guns than by Bill Clinton. And lastly, make America innate again. 2 minutes with Tom.
All right, I'm going for more women have been shot in the face by guns than by Bill Clinton. What do you think, Trucker Andy?
I got to agree.
Okay, what do you think, Annie?
Next.
Okay. That'd be some bumper sticker.
Yeah.
Producer Chris, what do you got?
I'm going B.
Okay. You think it's F more minors than Jerry Sandusky?
Sure.
Too funny.
Let's go.
It's good.
At this bumper sticker, Ted Kennedy's car has killed more people than my gun. Whoa. Very intense. I want to come up with a bumper sticker in response to that says, more young women have been shot in the face by guns than by Bill Clinton.
Yeah!
And I'm a Democrat for making that joke, all right?
This episode has been brought to you by Hackamania.com. Go to Hackamania.com right now and use promo code COME to save 10% on your ticket. Come. You're soaking in it. Sit, Eugene, sit. Good dog.
Well, there you have it. Another brilliant game. Andy and I both won. We're both winners.
Cheater.
I mean, some of those were pretty convoluted, even for Tom Myers.
I tried to weave a web with
know.
that one. I tried.
I
To
appreciate it. I appreciate what you do.
His stand-up is
Sorry.
so much better than his show.
Yeah,
that YouTube show
his stand-up
was
is terrible.
painful.
Yes,
Exactly.
His stand-up is atrocious, and it's so much better than his streaming show.
That's a good point.
That live stream is absurd.
He's just a dumb guy, and he really shows it. And he makes too many mouth noises. Stop the lips. I'm going to turn into Gary in San Diego, yelling at Tom about the lip smacking. It's got to end, guys. What have we done today? We've done it all. We talked about Soul Boom with Rainn Wilson, who had Trisha Paytus on the show. Cockfight wants to get into it with us. Ben Sixsmith's article is now out on thecritic.co.uk. Erik Nagel joined us to talk about Opie talking some mad shit. I mean, can you believe that they had a meeting in a restaurant off the thruway? That's crazy. I still can't get over that.
Per Opie's request.
Yes. Cracker Barrel. What a loser. Stuttering John did his final show ever. We'll never see him again. He's definitely done. Tom Myers has just begun. He's just starting up his new show.
He's just begun.
Oh, it's all starting with Tom Myers. So you know what that means? It's time for everyone's favorite part of the show.
The teaser. Next week's teaser.
The teaser. This is the part of the show where I don't tell you what podcasts we're going to be reviewing because I don't know. I just tell you the programming that's going on. This Saturday at 2 p.m., we'll be live with both Adam Bush and Anthony Cumia coming on the show.
Wow.
So that's going to be exciting. That's why we moved things around this week. Oh, yeah, that's right. We have gifts, too, we got to look at. So that's what's coming up on the show this week. And we appreciate you guys hanging out and watching and listening. You can also watch and listen to the All Apologies podcast. Where can people find that, Trucker Andy?
Thanks. You can find almost all the audio versions on allapologiespodcast.com. And we're giving away passes to the Dabble House. If you follow us on Instagram, there's a trivia game. And if you go to the website and enter your answer there, you can get a free ticket to Dabble House.
Nice.
And I think
You could win a free ticket.
What?
You could win one. You don't get one just for answering the question, right?
Yeah. You go into the lottery of
Okay, got
winning
it.
one. Thank you, Carth.
You're welcome.
I'm bad at
Keep
explaining.
this on the up and up
Yeah.
over here. I
Yeah.
don't want to get...
YouTube's terms of service.
Right.
But I think I'm on this week's Murder Game, Kaylee's new show, too. So check
Nice.
that out.
Very good. Yes. Dabblecon.live is where you want to go to get the stream. It's less than a month away from season 2 of the Kate Meany tapes.
Yeah. And Troy Smith already won his free pass to the Dabble
Did
House.
he? Nice.
Yeah. So play and win, Cardiff.
Very good. Cardiff, what do you got going on, buddy?
Allegedly, I have a new YouTube channel, so go follow at Cardiff Elect on YouTube.
Uh-oh.
Fine. I'm gonna take a shot in the next couple weeks.
Ban evasion. You're
going
gonna get me in
live from
trouble.
there. Let's see. You think
Should I
gotta
have
get
this
you taken
potato on? Is he gonna get my channel struck?
Mhm. Yeah, back on YouTube, Dabbleverse.tv, Patreon.com, Cardiff Electric, Hackmania.com. I got too many plugs, Carl.
too
Hackmania.com,
much.
promo code COME.
There's too much
Stick
going
it
on.
in
Well, we did get some packages in the mail, and I've been sitting on them because they're addressed to both me and Andy. So I thought we could check these out. If you want to mail us stuff, whoarethese.com, you can find our address, and you can send us gifts like
matching Baldos.
Yeah, like this Nick Ricada Baldo that Pony Power 2 created and sent us. All sorts of fun things. Let's see what we got here.
I just realized, I think that green is like the same green that Nick Ricada's logo is.
You think he did that on purpose?
I'm guessing he's creative and smart. He doesn't do things on accident.
He is creative and smart. I agree. Who is this from? I don't even know. I don't know if it says it on here or not. What do we got? Mnemonic flashcards.
Oh, yeah.
Finally.
Explain this to me, producer Chris.
Okay.
What's going on with these?
Yeah. Kanji.
I think it's so you can learn to talk better.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dr. Moku? Is that who sent these in to us?
No.
Learn the Japanese alphabet with Dr. Moku's Japanese flashcards. What in the hell? I thought these were going to be movies or something based on how this felt in the package.
Wow.
All
You
right.
sound
Well,
very grateful, Carl.
I guess we're learning Japanese. I guess very exciting stuff, guys. I'll be learning Japanese. I really think so.
Me learn how to talk good.
I mean, can I get one language down first, and then we can move on?
Anyway, what were we talking about before we started talking about chinks?
Oh, Tukey. Too much. Way too much. All right. Well, I think that's going to wrap things up for us. We got some voicemails to check out. Do we have any reviews that we can read, Annie?
Yeah, I got a quick one from Unnamed Source.
Okay.
6 days ago. The title is "This Is," and the the field is a review. Happy now?
Yes, I am happy now. Is that a 5-star?
Yes.
Okay.
You did your job, whoever you
Now
were.
we're happy.
Thank you very much. Fudgicle says it's probably from Vic's Japanese stepfather. That's
No, I think
very
it's a Japanese
possible.
fart enthusiast.
Or it could be Japanese fart enthusiast.
Yeah.
But I've always wondered if he's Japanese or if he
Yeah.
enjoys Japanese farts.
We'll never know.
We'll never know the answer because he won't tell us.
Where's
what the
Crippled
answer-
Jesus, by the way?
Crippled Jesus retired from the internet. Yeah, I've messaged with him a few times.
Wise choice.
Yeah, I think that he's trying to get his life together, and he had that issue with school.
Nowhere to go but up.
Remember when he recorded his teacher and then played it on this show,
Yes.
and then got in a lot of trouble for that?
Yep.
I think his mom was just like, all right, this podcasting thing, it's got to end. But all right, let's check out some voicemails. People call into the show. This is your chance to interact with the show. Go to whoarethese.com to find our voicemail number.
Carl, what is this crap with producer Chris departing Saturday's WATP show early? What, he had to go somewhere else and be awesome? Thus depriving the WATP fans of his awesomeness? I was devastated.
It was devastating. It certainly was devastating, sir. We can all agree on that.
Superpowers are needed elsewhere.
Hey, Carl. On March 12th,
Hi, Gary.
John practically went crazy. He went apeshit. You know why? 1, 2, 3. Well, not Stuttering John. Howard Stern had on Triumph, and that drives John crazy.
Yeah, Triumph was on the Stern Show. They did a behind the scenes thing. My buddy Jay sent it to me, where he went around and talked to all the. It was interesting to see like where Sal and Richard work, and all the different characters like in their little cubicles. He was going around.
He had him on for 2 big segments, one with Triumph and one with Robert Smigel. It was unbelievable. And, of course, they never even mention Stuttering John.
What?
He hates it when Triumph is on and his other nemesis. If he comes on, John goes crazy too. That's the Ollie G. Anyway, I heard John got so crazy that he almost took a couple swings at people at Stevie Tomatoes.
Oh, no.
Hard to believe, but he hates that kind of shit. Anyway, keep on rocking, rock and roll.
All right. You too, Gary. I think you're making shit up, Gary. I don't want that on my airwaves. These made up stories about John punching people in bars. I don't think that actually happened.
You don't know what didn't happen.
Carl, this is Judy. I got to let you know. I told Gary, don't make your calls too long. You just go on and on and on.
Yep.
Anyway, just for your benefit, he's currently in the penalty box. Bye.
Thank you, Judy.
He's a locked cuck.
I appreciate that, Judy.
I do have a feeling it's a physical place.
Yeah, it seems that way.
Under the stairs.
Boner Guy does not like Opie.
Go Bills. Oh, Carl. What the fuck, man? Why is Opie and his despicable crew screaming about everything? And then fucking Kevin Brennan before that as well. Jesus Christ, man. Oh, I hate these guys. Great minds do think alike, though. You introduced the Opie segment on the weekend show by saying, we should offer constructive feedback. And with that in mind, I'd like to share a couple of my more recent Opie comments where, really trying to help the guy out. So the first one I had was, why don't you leash yourself to a bridge railing, then jump off?
Okay.
That would, that would be great. I'd love to see that. And the other one was, I can't even remember. He just fucking stinks, man. I hate him so bad.
Jesus.
And
vote Carl at thecreepoff.com.
All right, write these things down. Yeah, vote for me at thecreepoff.com, everyone. Thecreepoff.com. Vote for Carl.
Or Vinny.
We did the creepiest St. Patrick's Day person, and I brought St. Patrick. That deserves a vote. Get over there. Check out the Creep Off.
I remembered what the other one was.
Oh, good.
Following that fucking prick who got shot and unfortunately didn't die, I suggested that Opie might like to start just harassing random delivery drivers for his live stream. We can fingers crossed with that one. And then just as a bit of a palate cleanser, seeing as the Derek Chauvin joke from Doug, Mean Doug, was so popular, I thought I'd like to share with you Mean Doug's take on abortion, which is that he's okay as long as none of it gets on his face.
Thank you for sharing that, Boner Guy. We got to get Mean Doug back on the show again. I was chatting with him the other day. He's a busy guy. Busy guy. Guys, I might have broken the internet with my pineapple on pizza talk. I'm getting a lot of, not since flour versus corn tortillas. Have I had more controversy get brought up around this?
Carl, totally have to agree with you. I like pineapple and bacon on pizza too. I do not get ham. Fuck ham, pineapple, bacon.
Yes.
My wife's Canadian, but that doesn't really influence it too much. But anyway, when you're in Detroit next time, go to Como's in Ferndale.
Yep.
Get their pineapple and bacon. And also, I've told my wife about the cup check too, and I thought maybe it's because she was a chicken in Canada, but totally did it too. Knocked on the cup. I can't remember if I did it or the coach did, but gotta go. See ya.
All right. See, the cup check is a real thing. Kurt, have you ever get a cup check when you were growing up?
Give, all of it. Run it off.
Okay, good. Como's Pizza is the place that we do eat pizza when it gets delivered on time. When it doesn't, I don't eat any pizza at all.
We get none.
Oh, that was fantastic.
I'm sure everyone enjoyed that in the green room.
And I hate to agree with you, Carl, but the best pizza I've ever had pineapple on it.
Really? What else was on it?
Blue cheese. No, it was fantastic.
I don't know about
it was
that.
fantastic.
All right.
I love blue cheese on pizza.
My argument with pineapple is you got to cut it small enough. Like a big chunk of pineapple, no thanks. If it's little tiny, tomato sauce is just a sweet fruit as well. It's not that far of a departure.
That's true.
To have
There's
pineapple.
a lot of
on
sugar in there.
pizza.
Nerd.
Are we ripping off the MD Foodie Boys?
Yeah.
Yes, I've seen how popular they are. I want to be on Tim Dillon's show.
Our
Fuck.
OC foodie men coming at you.
All right. So we have started up this rivalry. I don't condone it, but the Wednesday listeners versus the Saturday listeners.
Hey, Carl. Of course I'm a Wednesday listener. I don't have a job and I have nothing better to do in the afternoon on a Wednesday. Of course I'm a Wednesday listener. I love TV's Adam Bush, but I spell his name wrong and find the other Adam Bush on Google because I'm an idiot Wednesday listener. I'll call back and do a Saturday one too. Bye.
Okay, sounds good. So that's the style of the Costco guys. He is a Wednesday listener, but let's find out what a Saturday listener sounds like.
Hey, Carl, it's me, a different guy, calling in. Of course I'm a Saturday listener. I have a job on the weekdays, and I can't listen on the weekdays. Of course I'm a Saturday listener. Adam who? All right, you don't have to play these.
No, I didn't have to. That's true. That is very true. Sorry.
Saturday listeners sound gross.
Hey, Carl, it's a generic tag. Just calling to let you know that I've been reading Adam Bush's Wikipedia. I saw he was in a show called Men at Work. Well, you know who should be Men at Work? It's your fucking Wednesday listeners, man. Us Saturday listeners, we got jobs we got to go to, so we listen on Saturday. Fuck the Wednesday listeners.
Now, Wednesday show does start at 5:30 p.m. on the East Coast. I just want to remind everyone you could be employed and enjoy Who Are These Podcasts on a Wednesday.
I'm at the pub.
I don't know if this
throw it out there.
I don't know if this stirs it up more or whatever, but longtime fans might remember Saturday was the original day of the show, and then it had to expand on to Wednesday as like a sort of bonus. So,
Right.
It's about
do
the
with that
ball
as you will.
washing.
And Annie is not here on Saturdays.
So fuck it.
That's why I'm a Saturday
Can't listen
listener.
on Wednesday. Quit your shitty job. Get a better job where you can listen.
KB came out with a good one. Lady boy Carl, and then he said, Gino wore a bra the other night, and you're calling him a grifter. KB, Gino is the worst. I know you're friends and everything. Cover this guy. It's the worst thing I've ever seen broadcast. He sucks. And so does what's her face.
Right. I did hear about Gino putting on a bra for money or something. I got to check into that. That's not great. Our buddy Paul calls him again about this controversy.
This is for WATS. I just want to say pineapple on pizza sucks, but with double bacon, banana peppers, and ham, well done. You can add pineapple on that, and it's fucking delicious.
Okay.
By the way, Carl, you do sound gay on the hotline voicemail thing, so go fuck yourself. Bye.
Oh, why was that for WATS? Are we talking about pineapple on WATS?
Hi, you've reached.
Thanks so much for calling. We're having so much fun over here on the Who Are These Podcasts hotline.
Turns it on so easily, doesn't he?
We should do a 900 number.
Hey, Carl. Saturday listener here. I just tuned into the Wednesday show for once in my life and heard what Wednesday listener had to say about us Saturday listeners. And all I gotta say is, fuck you, man. Who the fuck cares about Adam Bush? Carl's Wednesday shows and all these experimental bullshit things. If you want to actually listen to the real WATP, it's on Saturdays.
Nobody cares. All right. Well, it's a controversy I think it's going to live on. I don't think we've settled it yet.
The dummies versus the jerks.
That's right.
I gotta go. Bye. I gotta go. I gotta go. I gotta go. I gotta go.
Okay, bye. Yes. Thank you for tuning in. Bye.
That was a great episode.
That was really great.
Are we done here?
I think we are. Jesus, I gotta go. This is getting stupid. Bye, guys.
This is it. It's over. Okay? Goodbye. Goodbye. Hey, goodbye.
Okay, bye.
People said I was dumb, but I'd prove them.
Go check out Nobody Likes Onions. Patrick is live right now, going up against me, even though it's his day off on Wednesday, competing with Who Are These Podcasts. Go check that out. Hackmania.com, promo code WATP. Dabblecon.live.